San Diego has won the toss. They will receive. Seattle will kick it off with Olindo Mare. Both teams are 1-1. Seattle coming off a 31-14 loss in Denver. San Diego, with Darren Sproles deep, had a 38-13 win over Jacksonville last week. They put together 477 yards of offense under Norv Turner, now in his 4th year as the head coach of the Chargers. 13th year overall head man in the NFL. Pete Carroll back in the NFL his 1st year as the head coach of the Seahawks. We're underway from Quest Field. Sproles, the return man, up the middle, and Sproles is brought down just short of the 20-yard line. That's where San Diego will start off. Michael Robinson making the play on special teams. Phillip Rivers, his 16th career 300-yard passing game last week in that victory over Jacksonville, Dan.
And he continues to get used to life without Vincent Jackson. His pass distribution has been wonderful with his wide receivers. Buster Davis has 7 catches, Legadou Nane 6, and Malcolm Floyd 6 in the first 2 games of the season.
The 2-time Pro Bowler will get the Chargers lined up with a 1st and 10 at the 19. Jacob Hester is in there as a receiver, the fullback. He goes in motion, now shifts to the backfield. From the gun on 1st down. Rivers on a handoff. Darren Sproles right up the gut, and Sproles exploding for a 16-yard gain. Out to the 35-yard line, Marcus Trufant making the play.
Yeah, Hester lined up out wide, then he comes back to his normal fullback position. There's Hester. Watch the patience here by Sproles, the good vision to jump to the outside, then the burst to get the 1st down for San Diego. That's a great way to start on the ground for the Chargers.
The elusive Darren Sproles getting the 1st touch from scrimmage. And a 1st down for San Diego. Tolbert is in there. No Ryan Matthews today, inactive with a high ankle sprain that he suffered last week against the Jaguars. On a give, it's Tolbert, power running style. And Tolbert is brought down by Aaron Curry, the linebacker for Seattle. Let's take a look at the San Diego offense. Brandon Dombrowski's done an excellent job at left tackle, filling in for Marcus McNeil, who signed a contract after a holdout yesterday. More on that coming up. Backs and receivers, what an opportunity today for Tolbert. He came up big last week. 16 carries, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns in his 3rd year out of Coastal Carolina. Ryan Matthews, the 1st-round pick out of Fresno State, forced to watch this game from the sideline. On a 2nd and 9 now, empty backfield. Rivers has to deal with the noise. This is one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. From the gun, Rivers steps and throws the short pass to Legadou Nane. He loses the football. Nane fumbles it. Seattle's got it. Red Bryant on the recovery, the defensive end for the Seahawks.
Legadou made a good move to get up the field, get the 1st down, but the ball was punched out. Watch, he's got the ball away from his body here, pulls it in, then the ball gets loose again, and it's punched out there at the very last instant. Heads up play by the Seahawks. Number 90 coming in. There's Lofa Tatupu, 51. Give him credit for forcing that fumble and giving the Seahawks outstanding field position to start their first play.
San Diego forced 6 turnovers last week, but the Chargers turned it over 3 times. So Seattle takes over in San Diego territory. Justin Forsett up the middle and nothing there. Driven backwards by Antonio Garay. It's a 1-yard gain. Matt Hasselbeck, the captain of this Seattle offense and the veteran who turned 35 years old yesterday.
He had 3 picks against Denver last week. Now has thrown 14 in his last 6 games. Pete Carroll told us that Matt is his guy. He is accountable, and those interceptions have got to stop.
Golden Tate is in there. He's the motion man on a 2nd and 9 for the Seahawks. They'll throw it out to Tate, trying to create after the catch. And Tate able to accelerate for a 5-yard pickup. Sean Phillips with a tackle for San Diego. NFL Today update. Let's go to New York and JB.
Ian and Dan take a look at the defending Super Bowl champion Saints with an opportunity to win it in overtime. 29-yard field goal attempt by Garrett Hartley. He misses it. A 29-yard chip shot for him. Atlanta has the ball and a chance to knock off the Saints. Back to Ian and Dan.
Wow, Hartley, a hero for that New Orleans squad. An opportunity to keep the winning streak alive through the Saints. Shotgun formation, a moving pocket here for Hasselbeck, trying to direct traffic, throwing to the sideline and out of bounds.
Well, on the perimeter, Hasselbeck had what he wanted that time because he had Forsett guarded by Kevin Burnett. And Burnett did a super job of staying with Forsett and forcing that incomplete pass from Hasselbeck.
So Seattle can't take advantage of the field position after the turnover. They go 3 and out. It was Red Bryant who came up with a fumble recovery off the catch of Lagadou Nene. Patrick Creighton right now is the deep man. Off the punt from John Ryan, it rolls to the 1. Did they save it is the question. They did not. It's a touchback. San Diego will have it at the 20. Michael Robinson getting downfield for the touch. Score. Seattle with a week 1 win over San Francisco, 31-6 here at home. But last week, 4 turnovers, 7 penalties. They gave up 307 passing yards to Kyle Orton, the 31-14 loss in Denver. San Diego with a football, 1st and 10 at the 20. Tolbert and Hester in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Trying to get the ball to Jacob Hester, releasing. It's incomplete. Take a look at this Seattle defense. They're very big up front. We already saw Red Bryant on that fumble recovery. 6'4", 323 as a defensive end in this 4-3 set. Lofa Tatupu, quarterback of the defense, the son of the late Mosi Tatupu, former fullback with the New England Patriots. And in the secondary, Lawyer Malloy, his 201st career start here in the NFL. What a career he's had, including a Super Bowl win with the New England Patriots, 4 Pro Bowls. Double tight end set. It's Gates and Wilson for San Diego on a 2nd and 10. On the move, Rivers throwing sideline route. And the catch is made. Malcolm Floyd hauls it in out of the perimeter for an 11-yard pickup. And a new set of downs for San Diego. Well, time for our Fouts Focus. And where should we go on this? How about the quarterback?
Well, Philip Rivers has thrown a touchdown pass in his last 15 straight games. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. Here's who he's chasing, though. Marino with 30. Future Hall of Famer Brett Favre, 36. And how about the great Johnny Unitas? 47 consecutive games. Football's equivalent of Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak.
And the team record held by you, Dan, 20 in a row between 79 and 80. Rivers airing it out. It's Nene with the catch into Seattle territory to the 49-yard line. That's a 20-yard hookup against Oakland and Washington. Good speed off the edge. It's a loss of 6, and the drive stalls in a big way.
And that's the first sack given up by Brandon Dombrowski. Number 62 here is just beat by pure speed. Barely even got a hand on Clemens. That's why they brought Clemens from Philadelphia, to get that quick pressure on the quarterback from the blind side.
And the punter, Mike Cyphris, is out. Powerful leg. Would have gone to a couple of Pro Bowls if not for Shane Leckler of the Oakland Raiders. Golden Tate goes airborne to return it. And Tate is just fortunate that he was able to secure the football. Seattle will be pinned deep in its own territory as Donald Strickland got down the field. A 46-yard punt for Cyphris. Tate going upstairs, and he took the brunt of that hit on the receiving end.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Travelers, insurance, in sync. And by Sprint, the Now Network.
Here in Seattle, this spectacular city in the Pacific Northwest, San Diego and the Seahawks scoreless. Here in the first quarter, double tight end set with Carlson and Baker for the Seahawks. Hasselbeck throwing up in the air and broken up. He was looking for Mike Williams in a matchup with Quentin Jammer, who was able to close in at the last moment.
Yeah, I think the ball was slightly underthrown. Williams had a step to the inside. You can see the ball thrown behind Williams. That allowed Jammer to come over and knock the ball loose.
Mike Williams.
Gets the ball out in front eye, and that might have been a touchdown.
Williams back in the NFL after 2 years out of football. He's lost 30 pounds. A number 10 pick back in 2005 out of USC. 4 receivers set. And it's Forsett getting the call. Tried to find a hole. It wasn't there. It's a 3-yard gain. Let's take a look at the starting Seattle offense. Russell Okung number 6 pick overall out of Oklahoma State, still not ready to go. He got injured in preseason. Okung out at left tackle with an ankle injury. Tyler Columbus filling in for him. Backs and receivers. That running game, Forsett, the numbers are there. 5.5 yards per carry in his career, now in his 3rd year out of California. The shifty 5'8", 198-pound running back. Seahawks facing a 3rd and 7 and a dime package here for San Diego. This play never even gets going. Flags come down. Ron Winter is our referee here today.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
And the San Diego defense, Antonio Garay has been a pleasant surprise in this 3-4 set at that defensive tackle position. Linebacker Stephen Cooper is inactive once again for the 2nd straight week. Brandon Seiler has done a nice job at inside linebacker. And in the secondary, Antoine Cason, the best game of his young NFL career last week. 2 interceptions and a forced fumble. 3rd and 12. Hasselbeck, sideline route, and catch is made right at the marker by Mike Williams. Boy, one-on-one against Antoine Cason. It's a 12-yard gain. NFL Today update to New York and JB.
Ian and Dan in OT, Atlanta and New Orleans. It's Atlanta's opportunity to get it done. And in fact, Matt Bryant does. 46-yard field goal, knocking off the defending Super Bowl champions with that field goal. Atlanta 27-24. Ian and Dan.
Big conversion on 3rd down, JB, as Mike Williams lays out for this catch. Cason right on his back, but Williams got up and came off the field holding his left arm.
On 1st down, it's Forsett slicing through. Forsett comes up short of the 30-yard line. Castillo and Phillips combine to bring him down. It's a 4-yard gain for Justin Forsett.
So 1 for 2 rather on 3rd down conversions. That's something that's been a little puzzling for the Seahawks. They were so good against San Francisco 2 weeks ago and so bad last week converting on 3rd downs against Denver.
These two teams, former rivals in the AFC West between 1978 and 2001. You know a little something about this Seahawks-Chargers rivalry. Hasselbeck throwing underneath to the tight end John Carlson. And Carlson extending his arm for a 4-yard gain. That's something that Hasselbeck talked at great length about on Friday. Trying to get that chemistry going with Carlson. He knows it's there, but he said both of them have to pick it up a bit and get on the same page. I
think part of getting on the same page is so much of what Pete Carroll's offense is all about is ad-libbing. And Carlson is a guy that will run the route as it's drawn up. And so he's got getting back on the same page. He's got to read the same things that Hasselbeck is reading and ad-lib maybe a little bit more.
On a 3rd and 2, Deion Branch in motion. They'll try to get it on the ground, and they will. Forsett, nice cut. And a 1st down. Good block there by Michael Robinson in front. It's a 6-yard gain for Justin Forsett.
This offensive line, you talked about the injuries, but they are big. Stacey Andrews, number 77 there, goes 340 at right guard, 6'7", did a nice job of controlling the nose tackle that time. And another 1st down for Seattle, as this is an impressive last couple of plays for Seattle as they're starting to get very confident in what they're doing on the ground.
Line of scrimmage right now is the 39. This is the 7th play of the drive. No score. Chargers and Seahawks under 5 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Leon Washington is out there for the first time. High snap. Hasselbeck throwing. Incomplete. High throw to John Carlson, the tight end in his 3rd year out of Notre Dame. It'll be 2nd and 10. Watch Fantasy Football Today to get the last-minute news. Tell you about that in a second.
Well, Brandon Seiler with the pressure there. That forced the high throw, but Hasselbeck had what he wanted, the tight end, Carlson, on the linebacker, Burnett, but just because of the pressure from Seiler, caused that ball to sail high.
And you mentioned Mike Williams now exiting, and it looks like that left shoulder after making the play to convert the 1st down. Toss out to the side, trying to get Deion Branch involved, and they could not.
Well, that looked like the ball bounced to the receiver.
And there goes Williams now to the locker room. Well, fantasy football, Dan, I know you're a huge fan. Last-minute news and analysis. Check it out at CBSSports.com live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
So with Williams going to the locker room, now we'll see some golden tape at the top of the screen. There he is right here, the rookie that made a big splash last week in the loss to Denver.
On a 3rd and 10. Hasselbeck steps up. And Hasselbeck is down. Back at the 34-yard line. Antoine Applewhite in there for San Diego, former practice squad player who's got pass rushing ability. And the drive ends there.
Well, watch the Chargers secondary here. They're going to play real deep, and you're not going to see any Seahawk come open here. Man-to-man underneath. Watch the linebackers close on Tate right here. And down here they're covered. So Hasselbeck, looking for a receiver, just finds a tackler instead.
Again, Patrick Creighton is the deep man off the punt from John Ryan. Creighton catches on the run. And Creighton able to get towards the sideline and forced out of bounds. Nice return by the veteran Creighton, formerly the Dallas Cowboys. Phillip Rivers and the San Diego offense back on the field when we come back. First quarter here in Seattle, no score. Seahawks and the Chargers. Welcome back here in the broadcast booth. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. We know San Diego is capable of putting up big numbers offensively. I think we're still trying to figure out what Seattle is offensively at this point.
I think Pete Carroll's still trying to figure it out, too. He's made a lot of roster changes in the short time he's been here. He's still going to make some more, too. And the big thing is this injury to Mike Williams. They do not have a whole lot of receivers with a lot of experience on the Seattle side. If he can't go, this offense for the Seahawks is going to be handicapped greatly.
San Diego has the football. With a 1st and 10 at the 37 on a pitch for Tolbert. Nice move by Tolbert. And he finds a running lane out near midfield. Brandon Mebane missed initially. It's a 12-yard gain for Tolbert, who was very light on his feet.
Well, he's got a low center of gravity, great power, and he's got that ability. He was a tailback at Coastal Carolina. And the burst to get up the field, that's his best run of the afternoon. That'll get him fired up and this offensive line fired up. They love to block for Mike Tolbert.
Are you talking about the Chanticleers?
The Chanticleers, the Fighting Roosters.
Coastal Carolina, they've got a bunch of NFL players now, with Tyler Thigpen included in that group. Rivers throwing, deep ball up in the air, and broke it up. Malcolm Floyd thought he had the step on Kelly Jennings.
He had the step, but he needed to step back as the ball slightly underthrown allowed Jennings to get his hands in. Watch Jennings here reach with his left hand there to knock the ball out. If Floyd slows down a little bit right there, he may get a pass interference, or he'd may be able to outleap Jennings. Jennings goes at 5'11", Floyd at 6'5".
And Malcolm Floyd, the #1 receiver on the depth chart because of the holdout of Vincent Jackson. Rivers was lined up off to the side, and Legadou Nane, the former quarterback, taking that snap, and with a spin move, he picks up 4 yards.
That's the Chargers version of the Wildcat. Nane, a college quarterback at Boise State, and isn't he proud of his Broncos? Their big win last night over Oregon State. North Turner giving the Seahawks a lot to think about. Nane can throw as well, not just a runner.
Now a 3rd and 5. Conventional look here for San Diego. Darren Sproles is parallel to Rivers working out of the gun. They're on Seattle's side of the field. Movement. Flags down. And the play is whistled dead. Chris Clemens jumped. The question is, was he coerced?
Well, he made contact, so the play was blown dead. Now, whether it's against Seattle, it would be enough for the first down.
Or would it?
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 92. In the neutral zone to cause the offense to false start. A 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, they picked number 92, but it wasn't Mebane. It was 91, Clemens. But watch the center right here. This is Nick Hardwick. Watch his head. This is what Clemens is looking at. Looking directly down at the center. That got him into the neutral zone and the free 5 yards, but not enough for the first down.
It's very close. It's 3rd and inches now for San Diego. The ball just shy of the 41-yard line of Seattle. Tolbert is in there. Hester in front of him. Tolbert loses his helmet, but the second effort gets him the first down.
No, it doesn't. Once you lose your helmet, the play is blown dead at that spot. So he is short of the first down.
Great call, Dan. They are going to spot the football where the helmet popped loose. And right now, Luis Vasquez is down on the field.
Yeah, this is a safety issue for all players without their helmet. Once the helmet goes off of a ball carrier or a receiver, the play is blown dead at that point. Now the question for San Diego is how badly hurt is Luis Vasquez?
We'll step aside as they tend to Luis Vasquez.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by E-Trade. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
No score, San Diego and Seattle. Minute 20 to go in this first quarter. They are carting off Luis Vasquez, the second-year offensive guard out of Texas Tech. Let's take another look at it, Dan.
Yeah, Vasquez is going to get pinned right here. And watch his left ankle fighting against Colin Cole here. And right about there, you can see the, perhaps it's just a sprain. We can only hope.
And because of the rule that Dan mentioned, they did not get the first down as the helmet popped off of Mike Tolbert. Mike Cyphers with the punt, and Golden Tate with a fair catch as he brings it in at the 15-yard line, a 28-yard punt. Seattle and San Diego. We remain scoreless late stages first quarter here in the Pacific Northwest.
Watching the NFL on CBS.
San Diego's depth at linebacker being tested here. Sean Merriman is done for the day with a calf injury. Justin Forsett gets the carry, and Steve Gregory among those to greet him. It's a loss of one. So here's the situation now for the Chargers at linebacker. Stephen Cooper inactive because of a knee. Larry English inactive foot injury. Giles Tucker not part of this trip because of a personal issue, and now Sean Merriman is out for the game because of that calf injury. Merriman was already dealing with Achilles tendonitis and was hoping to play about 30 snaps here today. Down to 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Antoine Applewhite is in at linebacker. Shotgun. Hasselbeck sets and throws. Knocked up in the air and incomplete. Deion Branch matched up with Donald Strickland, the veteran corner.
Strickland picks that off, which he should have. He would score. Ball right through his hands, and he's disgusted with himself as he goes back to the huddle. But this is a pick six, if you will, from Matt Hasselbeck.
Dan, injury update from the Seattle end. Mike Williams, shoulder injury, and his return is questionable. 3rd and 11. Hasselbeck throwing on a slant. He's got Golden Tate. And we'll see where they spot it. It's going to be very close as he's brought down to the 25-yard line. That'll be the final play of the first quarter, and it is enough for a first down. No score. Chargers and the Seahawks will have second quarter action coming up from sold-out Quest Field. We'll return to Seattle after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Three-time Pro Bowler Sean Merriman ruled out for the rest of this game with a calf injury. Seattle and San Diego, no score. Mike Williams is back on the sideline for Seattle, catching balls to see whether or not he can play through the pain. First play of the second quarter, and it's Justin Forsett putting on the speed. That's Forsett into San Diego territory. Nice rip by Forsett for 28 yards. Hamilton and Spencer with key blocks up front.
Yeah, they're doing a good job that time. You don't wonder with Merriman out of the game how it affects the morale of the Charger defense, but right now that offensive line just pushes San Diego to the left side. The vision of Forsett finds the hole all the way back over the right tackle, and he's into Charger territory after 28 yards.
And Forsett will get a breather. Leon Washington checks in. Seattle on the move early stages of the second quarter. The drop and throw. Hasselbeck wide open. John Carlson bang down at the 10-yard line. Steve Gregory in on that stop. 37 yards on the pass and catch.
Great job by Matt Hasselbeck moving the secondary with his eyes in the pump fake. Watch him look out to this side, pump that way, then come back down the middle to Carlson. They misconnected on this type of play against Denver last week, worked on it hard in practice, and it paid off with another back-to-back huge gains for the Seahawks.
And taking advantage of the linebacking core that's in there right now for San Diego. Second catch of the day for Carlson on first down. Shotgun. Pump. Hasselbeck throwing. High throw. It's handled by Golden Tate, and he curls it inside. Brought down to the 2-yard line by Antoine Cason. Tate was inactive first week. A healthy scratch by Pete Carroll. Boy, he's come a long way in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Hasselbeck told us yesterday he may be raw as a rookie, but this is what he did to make an impression on his Seahawk teammates.
Last week, a punt return.
Well, the punt return was huge, and then this catch. But he was motivated by being inactive that first week. Says, I'm not going to give them any reason to not dress me each and every Sunday now.
Second and goal from the 2. Seahawks trying to get on the board first. Hasselbeck on the handoff and dropped his force set. Eric Weddle read it perfectly. It's a loss of 3 on the play.
Great timing by Weddle. He's really getting this down. Watch him come slicing in here. Finds the hole just like a running back might. And before Forsett can even think about trying to get away, he is dropped for a loss.
So Seahawks had a tough time getting their offense going, but a couple of big plays on this drive, including the key one to John Carlson, has set him up with a 3rd and goal from the 5. Out of the gun, Hasselbeck. Now checking off, Hasselbeck will send Forsett to the other side on a pitch. Forsett. Nothing there. Very tight space to work with. Steve Gregory slid in to make that play, and Seattle will have to settle for a field goal try.
Now this is really frustrating for Seattle. Steve Gregory, number 28 right here, watches his quickness. He gets by the phantom block on the outside and bring down Forsett, but any number of Chargers would have stopped Forsett way short of the goal line.
Onto the field, Olindo Mare. He's made 22 straight field goals. That's the longest streak in Seahawks history. This is a 23-yard attempt for the 15-year veteran. Mare knocks it through. Seahawks take a 3-0 lead at the 11:28 mark of the second quarter. Back to Seattle in a moment. 9 plays, 80 yards for the Seattle Seahawks. 28-yard run from Forsett. That was followed by a 37-yard catch by John Carlson. Mare with a short field goal as Hasselbeck and the Seahawks offense stalled inside the 10. So Olindo Mare will kick it off. And Darren Sproles, dangerous return man, is deep. Sproles will not take it out of the end zone. He'll take a knee, and the Chargers will have it at the 20-yard line, trailing 3-0. The new season is off to a great start, and only one network has the #1 new comedy, Fleet My Dad Says, and the #1 new show, Hawaii Five-0, only CBS. Thanks for making us America's most watched network. Offense so far, Seattle has produced 112 yards. San Diego, it looked like they had it going early, but the fumble by Nene, turnover, gave Seattle the football. And the Chargers, who put up 38 points last week, looking for their first points here. Phillip Rivers is sacked. Brandon Mebane, the explosive defensive tackle, drops Rivers for a loss of 7.
That's his first sack of the season. Big number 92 working against Tyrone Green, who, remember, he is in to replace Luis Vasquez, who went out on a cart with a knee or leg or injury of some type, and Mebane just overpowered Tyrone Green for that sack.
Yeah, they're not very deep on the offensive line. It's only Green and Murchkowski as backups right now for San Diego. Remember, they signed Marcus McNeil yesterday. Won't be eligible to play until week 6. Rivers dealing with pressure, up in the air and incomplete. Antonio Gates is yet to be involved as Rivers took a hard hit. Let's go to New York. Check in with JB.
All right, Ian and Dan, take a look at Washington trying to get back into this contest with St. Louis after a turnover by the Rams. McNabb, play action, rolling, hooking up with Santana Moss, 21-yard strike. It is now a 14-10 ball game in the second. That in St. Louis. Back to Ian and Dan.
Well, we saw that Washington offense in person last week, eventually losing out to Houston. Texans fell to Dallas earlier today. 3rd and 17. The crowd noise is immense. Rivers steps up and throws underneath the coverage. Antonio Gates. Look how many Seahawks defenders flew to the football. A 6-yard gain. San Diego will punt once again.
Well, the Seahawks are going to take a page out of Kansas City's playbook when it comes to Antonio Gates. Bump him off the line of scrimmage with the safety Malloy, and then come and give him help by the other safety, Babineau. So that worked very well for Kansas City. For some reason, the Jaguars let Gates go last week. He got 2 touchdown catches.
Cypher's averages 44.3 yards per punt in his career, now in his 8th year. Golden Tate is deep. Tate backpedals from the 29. He's got some room to work with. Tate turns the corner. Tate with a spin move and tripped up by the ankles. As he moves it into San Diego territory, 31-yard return for the rookie out of Notre Dame.
Mike Tolbert, the starting tailback, saves a touchdown. Great return by Golden Tate one more time.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx. We understand you need a winning game plan. FedEx. HTC. Phones that get you. And by Get Him to the Greek, unrated. Own it on Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday.
Major landmark here in Seattle, the Space Needle, built in 1962 for the World's Fair. Dialing up the long ball, Hasselbeck. And it's picked off by Quentin Jammer. Great coverage against Mike Williams. Seahawks turn it over. One and done on that drive. Matt Hasselbeck put it up for grabs, and it's Jammer who wins the battle. Matt Hasselbeck going back now, 14 interceptions in his last 6 games. He just threw a pick to the 9-year veteran Quentin Jammer, who stepped in front of Mike Williams. Good news for Seattle, Mike Williams was back on the field. Bad news is they turned it over with a Hasselbeck INT. Touchback, San Diego has got it from the 20 and a 1st and 10. Movement from big Brandon Mebane. Remember, Tyrone Green is in at right guard for Luis Vasquez.
False start. Offense number 69. A 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Go back to the interception. Here is Quentin Jammer, and watch as he is just watching the quarterback feeling the receiver. He knows it's a go route, underthrown by Hasselbeck. Remember, Mike Williams is 6'5" tall. Jammer is only 6 feet tall. He out-jumped him, out-fought him. Big turnover.
1st and 15 after the penalty. Mike Tolbert looking for running room, and he picks up 3 yards. Red Bryant there to greet him. So San Diego dealing with injuries on their offensive line. Luis Vasquez leaving in the 1st quarter. Sean Merriman on the other side. Defensively, linebacking core is very thin right now, and San Diego having a tough time just getting their offense in gear.
Well, and they're, as you talked about, very thin on the offensive line. They only have 1 remaining offensive lineman, and that is Scott Murchkowski.
Mike Tolbert lost his helmet again, 2nd time today, and this is now a 2nd and 12 with just over 9 minutes to go. 1st half, Seattle crowds the line. Rivers throws it up in the air and incomplete. The timing was off with Antonio Gates, who looked like he had the step.
Yeah, the bright news for the Charger offensive line is that Marcus McNeil has signed a contract, and we'll see what type of shape he is in. He's got to stay out 3 more weeks.
McNeil starting left tackle, a holdout. Signed a 1-year deal worth $630,000, prorated to $407,000. That was after he turned down a 1-year tender during the offseason of $3.3 million, hoping that maybe this will turn into a long-term deal down the road. But, Dan, as you mentioned, they won't have him until week 6. Shotgun formation. The gun from Rivers to Malcolm Floyd. And the clean catch made for a first down out across the 30-yard line. It covers 16 yards.
And a play like that will give the Chargers a feeling, hey, okay, we're all right. We got the ball out of our own end of the field. We had a good route by Floyd, really a great catch by Floyd. He has to reach back. Rivers got time to throw, and the Chargers are on the move, or at least feeling better about their offensive effort.
And a little bit more room to work with now on a 1st and 10 from the 34. Rivers avoiding the rush and throws it to the Seattle sideline out of bounds. Red Bryant was supplying the heat along with Kentwan Balmer. Hey, it's not too late to play NFL.com's all-new fantasy football game, the first and only game with video. Play with your friends. Sign up at NFL.com/fantasy.
Linebacking coach Ken Norton Jr. with a dropped interception there. He would have scored. That would have been a pick 6 for Norton like he used to do for the Niners.
Oh, boy. He's going to catch some heat when they show that one on film, isn't
And
it?
he jumped up in the air all of 4 or 5 inches.
The vertical, not what it once was for the Super Bowl champion. 2nd and 10. Sproles in the backfield. Rivers throws on an out route, and Nene goes down to make the catch at midfield. They've got a first down. Marcus Trufant drew the coverage. It's a 16-yard pickup.
We talked about the distribution, but this is confidence by Rivers. He's got heat right in his face, lets this ball go early, puts it in a place where Nene, as he comes out of the break, can see the ball and get down and get it. That's a big catch and a real confidence booster for Legadou Nene.
Well, there's no doubt when the San Diego offense is struggling, fans watching this game, the first thing that pops in their head is, well, Vincent Jackson. That's the team misses Vincent Jackson. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Darren Sproles in the backfield. Play clock down to 1. Rivers throwing. Timing route. And Floyd could not haul it in. One-on-one against Kelly Jennings. Jackson, a holdout. Similar to McNeil, he turned down that 1-year tender offer during the summer. And there was some talk that maybe this week Jackson would get traded. Jackson would be the number 1 receiver in this lineup. Instead, it's Floyd as the number 1 receiver. What's been your take on the back and forth between Jackson and the Chargers?
Well, I think both sides could have handled it better. I think there was some bad advice given to Vincent Jackson. But there's still a chance for Charger fans to get, and the Chargers to get something for Jackson. The trading deadline is yet in a couple of weeks. They could still deal him to another team.
Antonio Gates, who has not been heavily involved here like he was a week ago. Out on the outside, and wide open, Patrick Creighton. So Creighton does get involved. They acquired him once they realized they were very short on receivers from Dallas. It's a 16-yard pickup, and now San Diego is on the move.
And one of the keys for Creighton and Rivers is that Creighton's a veteran, number 1. But he's used to this system. The system that they run in Dallas is basically the same system that Norv Turner ran for the Cowboys. He taught it to Jason Garrett, their offensive coordinator. So the transition for Creighton, number 1, he's a veteran. He's smooth, but he also knows the offense.
Aaron Curry, the linebacker, just walked off for Seattle. Will Herring is in for him. On first down, Tolbert running into a crowd. And Tolbert with a spin move to pick up 3 yards. Lofa Tatupu, the quarterback of this defense, making the stop. What are they missing in Vincent Jackson, who really came into his own the last couple of years?
Well, the ability to make the big play, and we Seahawks fans saw it a couple of years ago when the Chargers came from behind on a long pass play to Jackson for the touchdown to give San Diego the victory. But he's gone. It's as if a player, he got injured in training camp. He's not going to be back with the Chargers. They have to move on. And Philip Rivers is very comfortable moving on with the receivers and the tight end that he has.
Chargers take a timeout. We've got 6:34 to play, first half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by KFC. Football fans, today is the day you double down. So good. And by Sony.
San Diego Chargers trailing Seattle 3-0. Chargers have gone 10 straight games with at least 300 yards of offense. That's the second longest streak in the NFL. You see what they've done so far today. Quiet first 6 drives. They're picking it up right now with a 2nd and 8 for San Diego. Rivers, he looked to the safety valve and it wasn't there. Tolbert didn't break open and Rivers is upset. He got sacked by the combination of Brock and Ciavi.
Yeah, let's check out the tailback right here is Tolbert. He's going to be in the backfield looking to block, and he chips on Raheem Brock there. But Rivers wanted him out as his outlet receiver. Watch Rivers look for him. Hey, where is he? Gone. And now Rivers pays for it, gets his hat ripped off.
Another loss for San Diego, moving in the wrong direction on a 3rd and 12. Shotgun formation. Here comes the rush. They handle it. Rivers steps up and throws, finds a seam. Malcolm Floyd, and he's got a first down as he's banged down just outside the 10-yard line. That's a 24-yard pass play and another big 3rd down conversion.
I don't think you want to make number 17 mad. Watch Rivers step up in the pocket, have a lane, and fire a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to a wide-open Malcolm Floyd against the zone, and Floyd with good speed after the catch gets an extra 10 yards.
Now, North Turner told us he thinks this team is bigger, stronger, faster. Thought he was talking about the $6 million man than last year's team. Handoff. It's Tolbert. He coughs it up. Seattle recovers. Hawthorne poked it loose. Red Bryant with his 2nd fumble recovery of the afternoon.
And 2nd miscue by Mike Tolbert. Previous pass play, 2 pass plays ago, he misses the block. And now perfect hit by Hawthorne. Helmet right to the ball, right to the right hand of Tolbert. Ball popped out easily, and the big fella, Red Bryant, son-in-law of the great Jacob Green, defensive end, wearing number 79, as Jacob did with his 2nd fumble recovery.
Joseph Red Bryant, 2 fumble recoveries on the day. Seattle takes over with a 1st and 10 at its own 7-yard line. Handoff for Forsett, and there's nothing there. Loss of 1 as Forsett was unable to break free of Brandon Seiler.
You got to give Gus Bradley, defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, a lot of credit. 3 sacks already in the first half for his defensive line. 2 big turnovers, both recovered by a defensive lineman. So they're dominating in the pit.
San Diego continues to rotate their defensive linemen. Travis Johnson in there, Nuwabo is in there, Alfonso Boone in there, Hasselbeck throwing. And the quick toss to Deion Branch. He can't get extra yardage after the catch as Antoine Cason was ready for it. Give him a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up 3rd down.
This is where the Seahawks really will rely on Deion Branch and his experience as a slot receiver. He'll come to the near side, and on 3rd downs, boy, this is not a good sign for Philip Rivers as he's getting his beak checked out.
He has been knocked around here in this first half. Shotgun formation. Hasselbeck on 3rd down. Throwing. 1st down, Deion Branch. They'll move the chains for the Seahawks. It's a 6-yard pickup. Hasselbeck throwing at Donald Strickland as they continue to work on the bridge of the nose of Philip Rivers. They're trying to stop the bleeding there.
Yeah, good. You got to have a good cut man in the NFL.
Seattle leads at 3-0. 3.5 to go in this 2nd quarter. And off Forsett. He has had no room to run. Loss of 1 on the play. A number of white jerseys coming over to greet him, including Antoine Applewhite. You see that bruise just between the eyebrows of Philip Rivers. We saw frustration week 1. A lot of that was weather related against Kansas City and the fact that San Diego couldn't come through down the stretch when they had an opportunity.
Slippery field, windy conditions, very wet, and the Chargers just did not handle the playing conditions as well as the Chiefs did.
Boy, did they bounce back, though, last week, putting up 38 points. Hasselbeck goes against the grain to Mike Williams. And Williams creating after the catch, that big body to the 40-yard line. He was dragging linebacker Kevin Burnett with him. That's a 22-yard hookup.
He's bigger than Burnett. 6'5", 235. Watch when he makes the catch in front of Cason. He catches the ball at about the 24-yard line. Now he's got 5. Now he's got 10. Now he's got 15 extra yards. Pulling Chargers down the sidelines. Impressive.
He led the team in receiving week 1, 4 catches, 64 yards in his first NFL game since 2007. Shotgun. Throw to Justin Forsett. And Forsett extends himself just short of the first down. Antoine Cason with the hit. We've hit the 2-minute warning after that 9-yard gain, and Seattle with a 3-0 advantage. Coming up, Sprint halftime report. James Brown and company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Well, obviously, this Seahawks team has changed quite a bit, certainly from the last time Phillip Rivers saw them back in 2006. But under Pete Carroll, a lot of roster changes. Shotgun formation, 2nd and 1. Hasselbeck makes the connection to John Carlson, the tight end, for a first down. 195 roster transactions since January. That's the most in the National Football League. And a timeout taken with Seattle in front, 3-0. Tonight, 11 teams take off on the adventure of a lifetime. Don't miss the Amazing Race season premiere. That's tonight after 60 minutes, only CBS.
Curious use of a first time out here in the first half, and with 1:53 to go after that completion, Hasselbeck called timeout immediately, and I'm curious to find out why. He's got a hot hand, maybe wanted a glass of water or something on the sidelines. Some confusion, but it was immediately after the play.
And it was right after the 2-minute warning, as you mentioned. Seattle leading this one 3-0. They've got a new set of downs to work with. 1st and 10 at the San Diego 42. 1:53 to play, second quarter. Hasselbeck, he's got time, now he doesn't. And forced to throw it away towards the sideline as Sean Phillips provided the pressure on 35-year-old Matt Hasselbeck.
And it's about time the Chargers dialed up some pressure. Remember, Sean Merriman is out of this game with a calf injury of some sort. Sean Phillips coming from the other side. 46 career sacks for Sean Phillips. This is what the Seahawks are looking for, to get Olindo Mare in range. Been a long time since he's hit a long field goal, though.
1999, that's when he hit his career long of 54 yards, and he's now made 23 in a row. From the gun, Hasselbeck, deep ball, separation, Deion Branch! He's in! Touchdown, Seattle! San Diego questioning whether or not he lost the football before he crossed the plane.
Now this may be reviewed or challenged. It's a booth review. There's the punch out. That is not a touchdown. That's the Charger ball at the 20-yard line as the ball goes out of the back of the end zone. Great play by Paul Oliver to knock it away. But that ball is loose before it crosses the plane. It's going to disappoint a lot of people here in Seattle. 67,000 not going to want to hear this.
It's being reviewed.
62nd consecutive sellout here in Seattle, including the postseason. And these fans are not going to be happy if it goes the way that you're alluding to, Dan.
Well, it's great camera work here. Watch the right hand punch it out before Branch has it secured, and then look at Branch's eyes pop out of his head.
Deion Branch thinks that he's in the clear here, and it was that last effort by Paul Oliver, the fourth-year safety out of Georgia.
You can see the ball is loose out of his grasp before he crosses the goal line. Heartbreaking play for Branch. Outstanding heads-up play by Paul Oliver. Clearly a fumble.
So Deion Branch losing control of it and trying to jump on it as the ball was still rolling around. 1:38 to go in this second quarter.
Branch saying a silent prayer on the sideline.
And Ron Winter has seen enough. Booth review.
The play is being reviewed to determine that the runner held possession of the ball until he crossed the goal line.
Well, he has not seen enough because he hasn't seen it yet. He just told us that they are officially reviewing it. Pete Carroll in his first year as the head man of the Seahawks, and boy, it looked like his team was going to be up 10-0 late stages. So Branch loses the football, then tries to grasp it, but it goes out of the end zone, as you talked about, Dan.
Yeah, that'll mean that if this is reversed, the ball will come out to the 20-yard line. And by this effort by Branch, you almost get the impression that he felt it might have been popped out before he crossed the goal line.
Well, the Chargers just saw the replay on the big screen here at Quest Field, and they're celebrating as if this ball is going the other way and out to the 20 for San Diego.
Well, their offense is on the field. The Chargers have 2 timeouts. Not sure why this is taking so long. You see the ball is clearly out before he crosses the goal line. Now you wonder, you go back to Hasselbeck using that timeout, and look how much time the Chargers will have to work with. 1:38 with 2 timeouts.
And if this goes the other way, Dan, Seattle has had 3 long drives in this first half. They've got only 3 points to show for it. San Diego's had a couple of turnovers.
Chargers had a good drive the last time, got down in the red zone when Mike Tolbert coughed up the ball. So it's been a mistake-filled first half. No bigger mistake than this one.
Lots of turnovers with San Diego last week. They forced 6 of them, had 4 interceptions against the Jaguars, but they turned it over 3 times and also had a punt block in that victory over the Jaguars.
Boy, Ron Winter's taken a long time under the hood checking this one out.
So now Winter emerges and will make the call. Is it a touchdown or is it going back to the 20 and a turnover?
After review, the defender player, number 27, punched the ball out when it was at the 1-yard line. The ball then rolled through the end zone. Therefore, it is a touchback. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
Wow. What a turn here in the late stages of the second quarter.
Just a real heads-up play. You see players trying to make this play all the time. But if you watch the ball, it's very clear that his timing couldn't have been better. With the right punch right there, the ball comes loose. And it's Charger ball at the 20.
So Paul Oliver, the man they call P.O. on this Charger team.
He just PO'd 67,000.
1st and 10 for San Diego. Little flip and drop. Mistakes continue to pile up here for the Chargers. Darren Sproles could not secure it cleanly.
Yeah, Rivers does a nice job of avoiding the pressure. Remember, he's been sacked 3 times, and all 3 of them have come from defensive linemen. Chris Clemens gets his first sack of the year, defensive end. Then it's Mebane blowing right up the middle for his first sack of the year. Then Raheem Brock, and injury to injury, insult, helmet flies off.
Phillip Rivers, 8 of 15, 118 yards. 2nd and 10. San Diego has been shut out in this first half. They're fortunate they're not down bigger. It's 3-0. Slinging towards the sideline and incomplete. Darren Sproles in a matchup with the veteran Lawyer Malloy. It'll be 3rd down.
Seahawks doing a great job in their pass coverage. It was considered a weak part of this football team. You've got a veteran in Lawyer Malloy working along a rookie safety in Earl Thomas. They're doing a super job of preventing Antonio Gates from getting free. He only has 1 catch on the first half for just 6 yards.
Deion Branch was a half a yard away from extending the Seattle lead. 3rd and 10. 1:31 to go, first half. Here comes the rush. Rivers steps, throws it. High, spiraling ball. It's too far for Legadou Nane. Marcus Trufant with him step for step. Trufant, who went to the Pro Bowl in 2007. Well covered there on Nane.
Yeah, Trufant with perfect coverage. It's almost as if he could read the body language of Nane. Nane just put his head down. He looked like he was running a 40-yard dash there. Trufant was with him every step of the way.
San Diego had the ball on that possession for a grand total of 13 seconds. Mike Cyphers. Low kick, but it takes a roll for San Diego. Golden Tate scoops it up. Penalty marker down. There have not been a lot of flags in this game as Tate is tackled at the 50-yard line. 14-yard return, 44-yard punt. 2 penalties against Seattle, 1 penalty charge to San Diego in this first half. Seahawks with a 3-0 lead, 1:15 to go, second quarter. Ron Winter.
Prior to the kick, holding, offense number 99. A 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the run. First down.
Kevin Burnett called on the hold. And coming up, it's the Sprint halftime report. James Brown and the rest of the gang have the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
I kind of like that rule where they don't re-kick. Again, it's a safety issue. A lot of injuries, a lot of big collisions on the kicking game. And this really penalizes the Chargers, because look at this field position now after the penalties assessed.
This is the 3rd time today where Seattle has opened a drive on San Diego's side of the field. With a 1st and 10 from the 41. Hasselbeck. That delayed rush, and that hindered Hasselbeck into a quick throw and threw it into the ground. Alfonso Boone applying the pressure on the veteran Matt Hasselbeck. 2 timeouts to work with, 1:10 left on the clock.
Very calm day here in Seattle, so the wind is not going to be a factor for Orlando Mare. They would like to see them get about 15 yards to get him in a real comfortable range. Remember that 54-yarder, his career long, happened in 1999, so get him a little bit closer.
49th all-time meeting between these two teams. Seahawks lead with a record of 25-23, former rivals in the AFC West. Forsett running plays, got a lane. At Forsett, the ability to accelerate into the hole. Looks like it'll be a 10-yard gain and a timeout taken.
That was a good audible by Hasselbeck. Went up under center. Lead play to Forsett. Good game.
The points here today. 3-0 Seattle leads it, trying to get him into range. They come up just short of the first down. It's 3rd and 1. Hasselbeck fakes the handoff. Hasselbeck, deep throw, juggled, incomplete. Dion Butler, but a flag thrown. Quentin Jammer with the coverage for San Diego.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. Penalized at the spot of the foul, and a first down.
Jammer with tight coverage, never looked back for the ball, and watch his right hand go right into the face of Butler right there. That's an easy call, and a big call for Seattle.
23-yard penalty, and forget about Mare now. Seattle is looking to get the touchdown that they didn't get on the previous drive. 1st and goal. They are inside the 10. Under a minute to play in this first half. Spread the field, 5 receivers. Pump, throw, end zone, caught, touchdown, Seattle. John Carlson hauls it in.
Hasselbeck looks for Carlson against the linebacker, Brandon Seiler. That's a mismatch any way you look at it. Athletic tight end with his first touchdown catch of the year, and a bullet from Matt Hasselbeck.
Carlson had 7 touchdown receptions last season, 51 catches. And now Orlando Mare on for the extra point. Seattle marching down the field, 3 plays, 41 yards. Chargers were claiming that Carlson was out of bounds in the back of the end zone.
Well, let's take a look at it. The 89, the right side of the screen, is Carlson. 59 is Seiler. Ball thrown back shoulder.
Was he juggling, or did he have it?
Boy, this is going to be tight. This should show us, though. Ball is thrown to the back. The goalpost is going to keep us from seeing it. I think that's a touchdown. Seiler's hand was in there, actually helping Carlson hold on to the ball. Look at Seiler's right hand in there. He's trying to pull it out. But I don't think we have the evidence to overturn this touchdown call.
Yeah, that's a terrific point, because Carlson had it with one arm and Seiler's was the other arm that was in there.
Reviewed to determine possession of the ball in the end zone at the back of the end line.
Couldn't he have told us that a minute ago?
Yeah, I thought we were already doing that, no?
I thought he went to the sidelines to look at it.
Yeah.
But this is what he's going to be looking at. Seiler's right hand is in there. Carlson has his left hand on the ball, as you said, Ian. But that's what Hasselbeck was looking for. A linebacker covering my tight end. The linebacker has his back to me, so it's as if the linebacker isn't even there. You can throw the ball anywhere.
Right away, Brandon Seiler reacted. So there must be indisputable evidence to overturn the call that was on the field. The call on the field was touchdown. Immediately, Seiler popped off the turf and looked in the direction of the officials, indicating, no, that ball was moving.
Well, he felt it moving. His hand was in there. He was making it move. But I'm not sure that there's enough video evidence to overturn it.
So he's got two arms, but one of them belongs to Seiler. That's the problem. Well, they already lost a touchdown, as it was determined off replay that the ball was jarred loose of Dion Branch. Paul Oliver making a tremendous play to recover and knock the ball free as Branch was just about to hit the end zone. That was a turnover because the ball rolled out of the end zone for a touchback. Now, Matt Hasselbeck thought he had a clean touchdown. So did Pete Carroll. Textbook play over the middle. Ron Winter to deliver the news.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is a touchdown.
So Seattle gets the 6 points on the board. 9-0 lead, waiting the extra point from Olindo Mare. So Ron Winter determining that Carlson did have possession of the football as Mare tacks it on. 10-0 Seahawks.
Hasselbeck's got time to throw in the last this quarter. He's been red hot. 148 yards. That touchdown, and perhaps one earlier, but it was a great throw to the back shoulder of Carlson, and Carlson with the strength to hang on with the help of Brandon Seiler.
First touchdown on the board here today. Matt Hasselbeck throwing to his tight end, John Carlson. The Seattle team 1-1. It's been a while since Pete Carroll was 1-1 as a head coach.
It goes all the way back to his first year when he was at USC.
That's right, 2001.
But, you know, we talked about the need for Hasselbeck and Carlson to get on the same page, to be able to adjust on the fly. That was a good example of it, because that was a route that it was just you run down the field, adjust to the ball where I throw it. He did that perfectly, and the Seahawks get a touchdown.
So Pete Carroll made so many changes on this roster. We talked to him about Hasselbeck. He said, hey, he's a pro. He cares. He shoulders responsibility. He wants to be held accountable. He was looking for leadership out of Hasselbeck, and that's what he's seen so far on the young season. Mare kicking it off. San Diego has 2 timeouts to work with. Darren Sproles is standing at the goal line waiting. Low kick from Mare. Sproles will take it on a bounce. Stutter step move. Sproles. Oh, it looked like he was going to emerge through the hole, and he coughs it up. Seattle's got the football.
They got one official that's going to come in and say his knee was down. The other official's going to give it to Seattle. They're going to have a discussion about this play, but I don't think his knee was down. Another huge turnover, perhaps, for San Diego. Watch his knees here. There's the right hand of Cam Chancellor. That ball's out before the knee hits the ground, so it's going to be Seattle ball with an opportunity to add more points. Now, that part of the play there, tripping, could have been called against Seattle.
Dexter Davis on the recovery, rookie out of Arizona State. So it's a rookie connection. Cam Chancellor in his first year from Virginia Tech forcing the fumble, and Davis on the recovery. San Diego has turned it over 3 times.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was down by contact before the ball came out. First down.
Oh, boy.
Well, this has to be reviewed. And hopefully Ron Winters will go over right now and look at it. But Sproles gets tripped right there. There's the right hand of Chancellor. The knee clearly is up. And 67,000 just saw it on the replay board as well.
So you were right. Matt McCoy could have been called on a trip. Obviously, you can't go back and call that after a replay, but you can get the call right, which was the ball was free prior to the knee going down for Darren Sproles.
Look at that effort by Chancellor with his right hand reaching out, just grabbing the ball perfectly as Sproles is already by him by a yard. Great effort by the 6'3" rookie from Virginia Tech.
The play is being reviewed to determine whether the runner was in fact down by contact prior to the ball coming loose.
Well, thanks for letting us know. The last minute of this game, just last minute, Dan, of game action, has taken 25 minutes.
What do you got? You got a flight to catch?
No,
I'm driving
I'm
home.
here.
I'm good.
I'm good. I feel comfortable.
I'm just glad we're reviewing it after we've reviewed it 100 times already. And the fans, we got 67,000 referees in the stands that have been able to review it themselves.
The Seahawks just saw the replay as well on the big screen, and they're celebrating. Similar to San Diego's celebration when they realized that the Deion Branch touchdown was going to be nullified.
And the key now for Seattle, obviously they're in field goal range, but they have a timeout to work with. And 47 seconds. A hot quarterback, an offensive line that's giving them protection, and these fans ready to go nuts here. As when's the last time San Diego was shut out in the first half?
Boy,
Long time ago, I bet.
this San Diego offense, which has been so prolific under Norv Turner, now in his 4th year as the head coach. But this San Diego team has started season slowly, Dan. Last season they were 2-3, then they ripped off 11 straight wins to finish the year. They were 4-8 in 2008, finished the year 4-0 to make the playoffs and squeeze in as Denver fell short. They were shut out in the first half against Pittsburgh, October of 09. Here's Ron Winter.
After review, the ball was loose before the runner's knee touched the ground. Therefore, it was a fumble recovered by number 58 Seattle at the 24-yard line. First and 10.
So the forced fumble by Chancellor. Fumble recovery by Davis. And Darren Sproles coughs it up.
One more time, right-handed Chancellor. Knee is up, ball is out. And here comes Dexter Davis for the recovery.
Seattle takes over with a 1st and 10 at the San Diego 24 and an opportunity to put more points on the board before the end of the first half. They still have a timeout remaining. Forsett in the backfield. Hasselbeck to throw. He's got the protection. And way over the head of John Carlson, incomplete.
Not taking any chances. If a guy's not wide open on a long pass like that, you already are almost assured of a field goal from Olindo Mare from this distance. So Hasselbeck miscommunication with Carlson, but 2nd down and 10, and they still have possession.
3 San Diego turnovers. Seahawks with a 10-0 lead. 41 seconds left in the second quarter. From the gun. Hasselbeck on a line to Justin Forsett. And a first down just short of the 10-yard line. It covers 13 yards. And they'll use a timeout.
Yeah, this tackle hurt Forsett. He was sandwiched between 2 Charger defenders. Ran a little option route. And again, you just got to talk about this offensive line as Hasselbeck is back in the pocket. And there's not a Charger anywhere near him. Go back to the hit on Forsett. Weddle from the left and Burnett from the right. And Forsett comes up limping off that left leg.
Boy, yeah, he took a major shot. And Justin Forsett being checked out by the medical staff. They've got Leon Washington. We've seen him at the tailback position. Julius Jones, of course, on this roster, former 1,000-yard rusher with the Dallas Cowboys back in 2006. No timeouts remaining for Seattle. 34 seconds left in this first half. Washington is in there. Hasselbeck looking, throwing, makes the connection. Golden Tate goes airborne. Clock is moving, 25 seconds left. Tate's got to get moving. 9-yard pickup. And Hasselbeck will spike it. Did he have to spike it at that point, Dan?
Not on second down. No, run a play. You got plenty of time. You're right on the doorstep there at the 2-yard line. Look at this effort by the rookie. Golden Tate up and over. Lucky he didn't fumble.
So the clock stops now here for Seattle after the spike, and it brings up third down for the Seahawks. They can still get a first down.
Looked a lot like old Nat Moore, didn't it?
Sure did. 3rd and 1. Hasselbeck trying to do it himself. Driving forward. The clock is moving. 13 seconds left. Hasselbeck was denied. Down to 10 seconds left. They're trying to get lined up with 6 seconds left.
No downing. It's 4th down. And they're not going to get it off. Too many men on the field, too.
Flags come down.
12 men on the field for Seattle.
And that's how this first half is going to end. Oh, boy.
What kind of play is that, though?
The game clock expired before the snap. That's the end of the first half.
Dan, it's all or nothing, and they got nothing.
You don't spike the ball, number one, and then a quarterback draw. I know Hasselbeck has scored twice this year, but this is the fire drill right now. You're trying to hustle out your field goal team. The Chargers are going to take their time. This is the problem right there. Number 65, Chris Spencer, coming off the field. Even if they'd gotten it off in time, they would have had 12 men on the field. The officials saw Spencer. They did throw the flag. The tough thing for Spencer is he's the center in the middle of this whole pile, and the long snapper is Clint Gresham. He has to come out on the field.
What a bizarre final minute 38 here in Seattle at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, the clock clearly runs out. Here's the 15 seconds is the play clock. That's the important thing you got to look at here. Hasselbeck at the bottom of the pile. The Chargers are trying to hold him down. Here comes the field goal team out on the field. But in the middle of all this is Chris Spencer, 65, trying to get to the sideline. And the play clock clearly is gone.
Now, the interesting part, they actually got the first down on that play. And yet they still couldn't get out there and get situated for a field goal.
And they used the timeout right after the 2-minute warning for who knows why.
Sprint halftime report coming up.
Right now, and San Diego has to do something about that. Remember, Luis Vasquez injured in that first half, so troubles along that offensive line protecting Phillip Rivers have to be corrected.
Now here we go, set for second half action here at Quest Field. Nate Kading kicking it off to Leon Washington, the return man for Seattle. And Washington's got a lane. Leon Washington turning on the speed. Washington. He's gone. Touchdown, Seahawks. 101 yards.
How about that? Coming back from a devastating broken leg that he suffered last year when he was playing for the New York Jets. He turned on the Jets, and no Charger could close on him.
The 5th kickoff return for a touchdown in the career of Leon Washington. And Seattle now with a 17-0 lead. Olindo Mare with the extra point. Want to talk about starting the second half with a bang. Leon Washington takes it the distance.
Well, he gets through the first wave here. Great blocking by the Seahawks. And just a huge hole. And for San Diego, you've got to be majorly concerned about your coverage teams. 2 weeks ago, it was the rookie McCluster for Kansas City who took back a punt 94 yards for a touchdown. This one, Washington hits the century mark. Makes one guy miss, says bye-bye to Nate Kading. Says hello, end zone.
And it is a Seahawks record 101-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Leon Washington. He went to the Pro Bowl in 2008. Pete Carroll having the time of his life right now as his team leads it 17-0. Washington acquired for a 5th-round draft pick from the New York Jets.
And the Chargers, or the Seahawks rather, told us the other day that, you know, he's still not 100%. How can you be 100% after coming back from such a bad break of his leg? Well, he's feeling 110% right now after that return.
Or at least 101% to match the yardage on that return. Leon Washington electrifying this crowd here in Seattle. And now it's Murray kicking it off. Darren Sproles, who had that fumble late stages of the second quarter, and he's not even going to chance it. Touchback. Big kick by Murray. Yeah. And the Chargers will have it at the 20-yard line now in a 17-point hole.
Now the Chargers cannot afford to miss an open tackle like this. Number 41 is Spillman. Here he comes right in here. Gets his head behind Washington. Look at the swivel hips there by Washington. And then another missed tackle, and that's all she wrote.
San Diego with a 1st and 10. They were shut out in the first half. They put up 139 yards of offense. Toss, Tolbert. And Tolbert is buried. No gain on the play. He lost his helmet again. That's the 3rd time today that Mike Tolbert has lost his hat as Lawyer Malloy made that stop.
To tighten the screws on that hat. You can see the problems the Chargers have had.
2 fumbles, 4 punts in the first half for San Diego. Chargers have had 5 straight wins over teams from the NFC. They've dominated against West Coast teams. Well, we told you about Aaron Curry earlier. It's a hamstring injury. His return is questionable right now for Seattle defensively.
Had a problem with the chain gang on the sideline, so the head linesman came in and stopped play. Said it's all fixed now, got all the kinks out. Now the Chargers got to get the kinks out of their offense.
And it gives these fans another chance to get revved up. They've been very vocal from the very start. Rivers steps up, throws one-on-one, and catch is made. Antonio Gates, he's been quiet here. The perennial Pro Bowler with a 28-yard reception as Rivers took another shot, this time from David Hawthorne.
57 is Hawthorne right here coming straight through on the quarterback. That could be called leading with the helmet, but Rivers really took a shot here. How about that? Dropping it in over the head of Will Herring. Big play for San Diego. Man.
Able to release it and get it to Gates out near midfield. On a 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Deep drop for Rivers. Pressure is on. Rivers throwing. Home run ball is caught. Oh, Buster Davis with a tremendous catch, and he's brought down inside the 5. 49 yards in the air.
Longest catch of his career. Rivers just hauled off and threw it as far as he can. Look at Davis right between 2. Safety Earl Thomas late coming over. Trufant had the outside. Big play for San Diego as they strike back in 2 pass plays.
Both Rivers and Norv Turner made a point in our meetings to talk about Buster Davis and how far he's come. He's now a factor in this offense. He couldn't stay on the field in past years. 1st and goal. Plenty of time, and a touchdown. Malcolm Floyd, Rivers with a strike. Touchdown, San Diego. And the Chargers now climbing back into it.
Well, you get a feeling that San Diego at halftime talked to the offensive line, and they said, hey, if we're going to win this game, we got to give 17 time to throw. On this play, they gave him about 4 seconds. Floyd found the void in the end zone. 4 plays, 80 yards, just 2:14 off the clock. That's Charger style.
Buster Davis with the setup. On the long reception, Malcolm Floyd gets the touchdown. He's another big body and large target for the Chargers as Nate Kading has the extra point. It's 17-7 Seattle. Phillip Rivers, he has gotten knocked around and he just keeps coming for San Diego. Buster Davis, first-round pick in 2007, won a national title with LSU. Chargers have been waiting for him to mature and develop. Phillip Rivers hit him on a big pass play that helped set up the Malcolm Floyd touchdown. And San Diego now trails 17-7 to Seattle. Leon Washington, 101-yard touchdown on his last return. And this time Washington has the hole closed quickly as he crosses the 25-yard line, hit by Donald Strickland. 20-yard return. Phillip Rivers, 16 straight games with a touchdown pass, closing in on Dan Fouts' team record.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Nike.
17-7, Seattle leading San Diego. We had 10 points through the first 30 minutes. We've had 14 points over the last 2.5 minutes. Justin Forsett, who got banged up at the end of the first half, but looked more than okay on that play. A 9-yard run, good block by Ben Hamilton to help spring Forsett loose.
Huge drive, huge possession for Seattle offensively, huge possession for the Chargers on defense.
Marcus Trufant being checked out by the Seattle medical staff, and a penalty marker is thrown.
Ball starts. Offense number 26. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And that works against Michael Robinson, the former collegiate quarterback at Penn State. Phillip Rivers now 198 yards through the air. Hasselbeck is over 200 with a touchdown and an interception here. Tolbert has been held in check. And Forsett, 54 yards on the ground. And off to Forsett. And he runs directly into the arms of Luis Castillo. They whistle the play dead and give him a gain of 1 on the play.
How important then is that false start by Robinson? They're second and 1. Back them up 5. Second and 6. And then they get absolutely nothing on that run by Forsett. Penalties just kill you.
It's a third down now for Seattle. They lead 17-7, 11:20 to go in the third quarter. Motion man is Dion Branch. Operating out of the gun. Protection is there. Hasselbeck steps up. Hasselbeck a pump fake, and Hasselbeck hit hard. Boy, I'm not sure if he got to the spot. Very close, and it looks like they'll give him enough. Yes, a first down for Seattle. So Matt Hasselbeck, not known as a runner throughout his NFL career, now in his 12th year, and you mentioned it earlier, has a couple of touchdown runs through the first 2 weeks of this NFL season.
The only touchdown runs for the Seahawks are from the quarterback.
He hadn't had a touchdown run since 2005. That was a first down run for Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck to throw. On the quick throw to Forsett. And Forsett hit by 3 Chargers as he will pick up 8 yards on the play. Jammer and Phillips over there defensively for San Diego.
Well, that's so well designed because Forsett is out wide. Jammer has him in coverage, but he's playing him off by about 10 yards. And then Forsett widens his route out to the sidelines, makes the catch, and has an easy 8-yard gain.
Matt Hasselbeck talked about the way he's prepared for games now under Pete Carroll and a younger coaching staff. And off Leon Washington, and Washington got stamped. Could not get it to the 45-yard line. Kevin Burnett, along with Quentin Jammer there to stop him. Hasselbeck said Jeremy Bates, offensive coordinator, Jed Fish, the quarterback coach, they want his input. And they actually incorporate his input into the game plan.
And because of their strange practice schedule where they don't really practice game planning things until Thursday or Friday, Hasselbeck is behind the 8 ball a little bit, but it has forced him to prepare earlier in the week and prepare more diligently.
On a 3rd and 1 now. Motion, Dion Butler. Shotgun formation for Hasselbeck. Forced out of the pocket, trying to line this one up. Nobody's open. Touch pass, too high! Carlson had released, and Hasselbeck had him. And the Seahawks forced a punt.
Yeah, that's one of those things not on the same page. Really good job by Hasselbeck, buying 5 or 6, maybe even 10 seconds on this play. Boone is late to close, and a little more touch on that ball, and this is a touchdown for Carlson and the Seahawks. And doesn't he know it?
And a big defensive stand there for San Diego. After the Washington touchdown on the kick return, Chargers answered with their first points of the day. John Ryan punting, former CFL punter, to Patrick Creighton. And he brings it in cleanly at the 15-yard line. That's where San Diego will open this drive. Chargers trailing Seattle 17-7. Sean Merriman, the Pro Bowl linebacker, suffered a calf injury early in this game, pronounced out. And Merriman watching from the sideline. Luis Vasquez injured left knee also in the first quarter. He's been out, and Tyrone Green has stepped in for him. Handoff for Mike Tolbert, and he's spun down by Chris Clemens. It's a loss of 1 on the play.
Go back to the injury that's happened in the first half to Sean Merriman. We're told, a left calf injury. Got all types of problems with getting healthy since he got that knee injury a couple years back.
Only 1 game in 2008 because of the knee injury. And only 4 sacks in 2009.
This is a good matchup for San Diego. Nane against the rookie Walter Thurman.
Let's see if Rivers looks that way. Instead, the short toss, and it's dropped by Tolbert. Mike Tolbert was so excited about this opportunity, coming from a small school, Coastal Carolina, working his way onto an NFL roster and starting at tailback. And that's the big key. He was the backup fullback, getting the opportunity at tailback because of the injury to Ryan Matthews. And it has not gone the way that Tolbert visualized.
No, he's been out of sorts. Trouble pass protection, hanging onto the ball, and just getting free for any long gains.
Dime package here for Seattle. Marcus Trufant, his return is questionable with an ankle injury. Rush coming. Rivers unloads and caught by Floyd. First down, Chargers. Kelly Jennings with the coverage. It's an 18-yard pass and catch.
Confidence, that's what that throw and catch is all about. Confidence that your receiver's going to reach out and grab the ball, even though the defensive back, Jennings, is right on his back in tight coverage.
Last year, Floyd, 45 catches, 776 yards, and a touchdown. It was Vincent Jackson who put up career numbers. Floyd today, 5 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Seattle up by 10, 7:35 to play in the third quarter. New set of downs for the Chargers to work with. From the gun, Rivers on the throw to Jacob Hester. He sprawled out to make the catch, and it's a 2-yard gain for San Diego. Coming up tonight, is Super Bowl quarterback Drew Brees as good as they say? 60 Minutes puts his accuracy to the test. You'll see the results tonight on the season premiere of 60 Minutes, only CBS. Matt Hasselbeck, 17 of 27, 212 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Rivers' numbers started slowly. He's now 13 of 23, 218 yards, and a touchdown. 2nd and 8. Rivers out of the pocket, directing traffic, finds the open man, Patrick Creighton. And Creighton into Seattle territory. It's another San Diego first down, 23 yards.
They usually tell quarterbacks never throw late over the middle. Well, you don't tell Phillip Rivers anything about throwing the ball. Here's Creighton down here. He's just going to find the lane here. Rivers comes out of the pocket after the play fake. And look at that void in the middle of the field. When you got a gun like Rivers, you can throw late over the middle.
This team was 7-1 on the road last season, the best mark in franchise history. They know how to handle hostile crowds, and Rivers is so cool under pressure. Deep drop for Rivers, steps up, and throws out across. Antonio Gates, circus catch for Gates. How did he bring that one in? 13-yard reception.
Now you get the hot hand, and that's what Gates has. Watch his left hand, reaching behind himself. One hands it against, pins it against his leg, keeps it off the ground. What a play by Gates. Look how close to this ball come to hitting the turf.
David Hawthorne is like, what? How did that happen? Antonio Gates, the 6-time Pro Bowler. First down, Chargers inside the Seattle 30. Fake the handoff. It's all aerial right now. And a BB over the middle is incomplete. Antonio Gates, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Gates smiling because he knew he kind of checked up on his route there. He slowed down on the crossing route. And you could see Rivers mouth the words, keep going. That's why they missed on that rare occasion for these two to miss.
Darren Sproles in the game for San Diego.
You know, it's been a lot of passing, and it's been a lot off of play action. Chargers aren't running the ball at all, and yet the play action's very effective.
Offensive line has done a better job in this third quarter compared to the first half. Rivers, that ball knocked down. Colin Cole extended the arm and was able to disrupt the play that was going to Darren Sproles.
That was a great play by Cole because Sproles has blockers in front of him on this screen. Watch the left hand of Cole just reach out. He's only 6'2", and he got 2 fingers on that ball. But look in front of Sproles. There's nothing but goal line in front of him.
9th play of the drive. They've had only one running play. They've covered 55 yards on this possession. Line of scrimmage is the 29-yard line. Not a lot of balance for either team. Now facing a 3rd and 10. Shotgun Rivers. Rush coming, and play was whistled. Flag is thrown back in the secondary at the 9-yard line.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
You know, this delay of game penalty moves them back 5 yards. If they don't complete this pass on 3rd down, it makes a real long field goal for Nate Kading. There's the play clock, and it is at 0 before the ball is released by Nick Hardwick.
Well, right now, Kading would be staring at a 52-yard field goal if San Diego gets no yards on this down. He's got a career long of 57 set back in 2008. 3rd and 15 now for the Chargers. Rivers steps, and Rivers is sacked. He got engulfed by Chris Clemens, who has been a terror today for Seattle.
Second sack of the game, and it's just like his first one. He's just going to run right by Brandon Dombrowski, the left tackle. Dombrowski gets a hand on him, but he doesn't push him by the quarterback, and Rivers is punished one more time.
And somewhere in San Diego right now, Marcus McNeil is watching this telecast.
And doing extra push-ups and sit-ups, getting in shape.
Right. He'll make his season debut in week 6. Timeout was called. We'll step aside. 4:40 to go, 3rd quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet? And by DirecTV. Watch your favorite team wherever you live, only on DirecTV. Call to switch today.
After the timeout taken by Seattle, they had 12 men on the field. San Diego will punt it with Mike Cypress. Golden Tate, the return man, and a fair catch taken in at the 7-yard line. So it's a 36-yard punt, and Seattle will be deep in its own territory with a 10-point lead. San Diego Chargers have posted 16 straight wins over West Coast opponents. That would include Seattle, Oakland, San Francisco, and Arizona. Chargers find themselves down 17-7 with 4:38 to go in this 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the 7. Bootleg, and not crisp. Hasselbeck trying to hit Chris Baker on the toss. 2nd and 10. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS features a crucial early showdown. The Ravens visit the Steelers. The Jets battle the Bills, or the Colts take on the Jaguars. Check local listings for the game in your area. It all begins with James Brown and company. The NFL Today live at noon Eastern here on CBS.
Hasselbeck, after being red hot in that second quarter, just 1 of 3 this quarter for 9 yards, and he's missed a couple of wide open receivers. First Carlson, and that time Baker.
He sends for set up as a receiver to the outside. Rush coming, look out! And Hasselbeck is sacked for a safety. Brandon Seiler came firing through for San Diego.
First sack of the year for Brandon Seiler. Watch him explode right through a huge gap in the offensive line. This is what they call the A-gap, and that's the most dangerous one for a quarterback. Put up 2 points for Brandon Seiler.
Brandon Seiler in for the injured Stephen Cooper, and Seiler is playing like a starter. National title with Florida back in his college days. A hard-nosed, physical inside linebacker. And he smelled that one from the start. Had a beeline right for Matt Hasselbeck. 2 points on the board for San Diego, and now a kick from Seattle. San Diego will get the football back.
And they also have momentum back. Ron Rivera dialing up that blitz. The blitz has been very good for the Chargers early this season. And no bigger sack so far this year than that one by Seiler. Produces 2 points.
And it's back to a one-score differential. 8-point disparity. 17-9. Seattle leads it. 4:31 to play in the third.
And that's the worst thing about suffering a safety is now you have a kick from the 20-yard line. It's going to be a punt, but the Chargers should get excellent field position. Although Patrick Creighton way back inside his 15-yard line. He's expecting a real long punt.
So John Ryan, who punted for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and was with the Green Bay Packers, on the free kick. Creighton is the deep man, and Creighton will catch this one at the 14-yard line. Creighton now slices his way up the field and banged down at the 45. So that's where San Diego will have the football after the 31-yard return by Creighton. NFL Today update. Let's go to New York and JB.
All right, take a look here. Peyton Manning hooking up with a guy just off of the practice squad. Blair White, a 9-yard pass play, completing a 10-play, 79-yard drive, 20-13. Indianapolis on top. What Peyton just hooks up with anybody. Back to Ian and Dan.
That's a guy that makes other guys better, Dan. Peyton Manning.
I don't think so.
Yeah. San Diego has its best field position of the day. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line for the Chargers, trailing 17-9. Play action. Protection holds up. Now Rivers is forced out of the pocket, and he throws it away. Kentwan Ballmer was giving chase.
But the pressure has been constant on Rivers, except for that last drive of San Diego's. That time Ballmer got in, and the Rivers did a good job. No receivers in the area, but he was out of the pocket, threw the pass beyond the line of scrimmage, so there's no intentional grounding.
Well, things have certainly flipped in this third quarter in terms of offensive production. It's been San Diego that's been able to drive down the field, although they still trail 17-9. Ground game, Mike Tolbert able to squeeze through that hole. Laura Malloy with a hit. Another update as we head back to the Big Apple and check in with James Brown.
Ian and Dan, Michael Vick has been doing it all day with his arm, but just in case folks forgot, he can do it with the feet as well. 17-yard sprint to pay dirt when the offensive line breaks down. Wow, 4 touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 running. Eagles all over Ian and Dan.
Well, you knew Andy Reid would be under scrutiny after making that decision, but it looks like it was the right one. Michael Vick has still got game. Rivers throwing, brought in by Gates for the first down and across the 45-yard line. Antonio Gates. And we talked to the Seahawks about dealing with Gates, and he's got that basketball background, and you see it
But
with his athleticism.
They also said that on third down, that's where the Chargers are going to throw the ball. He's the most targeted receiver the Chargers have on third down. So what do? Defensively, single him. They don't put two men on him.
And it was Jordan Babineau, the safety, who drew the coverage against all-star Antonio Gates. All everything. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. 17-9, Seahawks lead it. Play clock is winding down. Stepping up and throwing to Buster Davis. Look at the speed of Davis as he's angled out of bounds. 17 yards on the catch and run for the New Orleans product.
Talked about the all-star, all-pro, all-everything tight end. This is where Antonio Gates ranks compared to future Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez after their first 111 games. You can see the numbers for Gates. Awesome.
And he's going to Canton one day as well. That's how good he's been at that tight end position. On first down, give is to Tolbert. Mike Tolbert bangs his way on the inside for another San Diego first down. He bulldozed forward, put the helmet down, and picked up 13 yards.
Now this is what Norv Turner has in mind for this offense as the year goes on. The passing attack is going to be there, and they get Tolbert, who's a powerful runner. Once Ryan Matthews gets healthy, they'll have a good 1-2 punch and a quick guy and a powerful guy. But right now, every play that Turner's calling has got the Seahawks looking around, playing on their heels.
Good block from the three-time Pro Bowler Chris Thielman. Bootleg. Rivers throwing on the move. Short throw. Bounced it in the direction of Legadou Nane. Incomplete.
That's really not Phillips' strong point, throwing on the run. In fact, he might have been wise just to carry that ball all the way out of bounds and pick up maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Phillip Rivers, former backup, third-string quarterback Charlie Whitehurst, is now the backup in Seattle. We asked Rivers, does Whitehurst have any insight? He said, well, he knows me. It doesn't necessarily mean that he knows what we're going to do in this game. Handoff. And right up the middle, Mike Tolbert. 7-yard gain for San Diego. Clock is moving down to 1:40 left in this third quarter.
You know, aside from an occasional pass rush out of the Seattle defensive line, Chargers offensive line now is in control. You can see the running of Tolbert. He's getting pushed from his offensive line. They're opening some holes. He's breaking the first tackle with his power. And now the Chargers at the 6-yard line on third down have got it all working their way offensively.
The rookie from Fresno State, Ryan Matthews, out with a high ankle sprain. And Rivers trying to call a timeout. A flag came down. 2 of them, in fact.
3.
Ron Winter.
12 men.
12 men in the offensive huddle. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Rivers recognized it, tried to back out of it. It was too late.
Yeah, that look says it all from Phillip Rivers. But, you know, this penalty would hurt a number of teams. But the Chargers, with their passing attack, with Gates and those tall receivers, just gives them more room to work with.
And remember, they've got a rookie, Walter Thurman, in for Marcus Trufant. We'll see if Rivers looks in that direction here. On a 3rd and 8 for San Diego. Shotgun formation. Rivers steps, throws, end zone, knocked away. And it's Thurman making the play for Seattle.
He was the GOAT last week when he muffed a punt that Denver recovered in deep in the Seattle end of the field. Great play by the former Oregon Duck, the 4th-round pick. Watch him go high with the right hand and knock it away. Almost came away with a huge interception.
He had 12 career interceptions at Oregon. And San Diego has to settle for a field goal try from 29 yards away. Nate Kading. Cypress will hold it. Ryan Neal, who's their 3rd snapper this year. And it all works perfectly as Kading is able to put 3 on the board. 17-12. Seattle leads it. 37 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Last time these two teams played, well, you have to go back 4 years ago, December the 24th. Remember this guy? Vincent Jackson on the receiving end of a 37-yard touchdown pass from Phillip Rivers. That was with 29 seconds left in the game. Chargers rallied to win it 20-17.
And in a driving rainstorm there, but no win. And that was the difference between that game and the Chargers' first game of the year in Kansas City in a monsoon, but a very strong wind, swirling wind at Arrowhead Stadium.
Well, Vincent Jackson, who would not be able to play until week 7, 6-game suspension, had a 1-year tender offer of $3.3 million. Jackson turned it down, looking for more, thought he was going to get dealt this past week, maybe to Minnesota. The Chargers reportedly wanted a 2nd and 3rd round pick in the deal, and no trade ever materialized. So Jackson continues to sit, and the Chargers live their lives without him. Kading will kick it off. Leon Washington is back deep. Has already had a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Short kick. Washington fields it on the run. And Washington now trying to break to the clear. Lost his footing out around the 45-yard line. His eyes, I'm sure, got really big, thinking what was in front of him. Turns out to be a 33-yard return.
His eyes weren't quite as big as Nate Kading's eyes, because it was going to be Kading and Washington again. But he is going to make a move there and just fall down. So you wonder about that leg of his, the strength in that leg, because normally last year before he broke his leg, he would have scored easily on that play.
But he sets up the Seahawks with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Seattle has only 17 yards of offense in this 3rd quarter. 30 seconds remaining. Seahawks 17, Chargers 12. Forsett in the backfield. Michael Robinson in for the injured Quinton Ganther at fullback. Forsett gets the call, and he's dragged down as he picks up a couple. Antonio Garay will be given credit for the stop for San Diego.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what's wrong with Julius Jones. Haven't seen him at all today. Washington has been in the backfield spelling Forsett, but there's been no Julius Jones so far.
That'll be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Seattle in front of San Diego. 17-12 will return to the Pacific Northwest after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, rest of our CBS crew rejoining you here in Seattle, where the Seahawks lead the Chargers 17-12. The NFL on CBS, Week 3. Both of these teams are 1-1, and both of these teams are getting banged up. Bunch of injuries here today. First play of this 4th quarter. Hasselbeck faking on the throw, inside handoff. Justin Forsett. He gets driven backwards by Kevin Burnett and Brandon Seiler. The injuries today: Merriman out with a calf, Vasquez out with a knee. Mike Williams did come back after the shoulder injury. Forsett had a leg injury. He's in there for Seattle. And Trufant, his return questionable with an ankle injury.
And for that man, Sean Merriman, that calf injury, same leg as his knee injury.
He just has not been the same. The man that was known as lights out since that knee injury a couple of years ago. Hasselbeck throwing underneath the coverage to Carlson. And he picks up a modest 2-yard gain on 3rd down. And Kevin Burnett, who had a big ball game last week with an interception and is really getting comfortable in this defense, former Dallas Cowboy, makes the play.
Yeah, you got to wonder about the decision to throw this route to a tight end who's 5 yards shy of picking up a 1st down. Good tight coverage by Burnett.
Patrick Creighton awaiting the punt from John Ryan. Career average of over 45 yards per kick. Fair catch. Creighton brings it in at the 17. It goes down as a 30-yard punt. San Diego has the football, down by 5. Seattle leading San Diego 17-12 with 13:43 to go in the 4th quarter. Matt Hasselbeck just exited the sideline area.
Now he's in looking at videos is what he's doing. They pull the curtain back, and that's when he's behind the bench. He's not injured, I don't believe.
Now right now it's the Seattle defense that's on the field. San Diego with the football. Mike Tolbert bursting through as he carries to the 25-yard line. He is a load. 8-yard gain for Tolbert. 5'9", 243 pounds, but assured us yesterday that he can dunk a basketball.
And he pointed to his thighs and says, I got some power here.
And I wasn't going to dispute it.
Like two of yours.
2nd and 2. Tolbert again.
You know what you got to like, Ian, about Tolbert is he had a rough game for 3 quarters. And now he's playing like he played last week against Jacksonville. He's gaining confidence. And as he gains confidence, that offensive line gains confidence. And they're able to go forward and block Seattle instead of always retreating and pass blocking. Offensive linemen most of us would rather go forward than backwards.
16 carries, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. He had 25 carries all of last season. He's got a first down for the Chargers out near the 30-yard line. Rivers steps up, slings over the middle, and it's picked off. Intercepted by the rookie Earl Thomas. And Thomas out of bounds. Antonio Gates, the intended receiver.
Rivers hoping that this ball hit the ground, but Gates went down to try to make the catch on this low throw and actually pops the ball up in the air. That could have been called pass interference there on Hawthorne, but that's heads up by the rookie Earl Thomas. That's why they took him in the first round. He brings it back 34 yards all the way to the 11. Now let's see if Seattle can capitalize on this huge turnover.
Boy, this could be a game changer for the All-American out of Texas, number 14 pick. Now, Phillip Rivers was hoping it hit the ground. It did not. It was a clean interception for Earl Thomas. 8 interceptions last season for the Longhorns. Hasselbeck working out of the gun. Throwing on the move. Catch is made by Deion Branch, and then he is twirled down after the short gainer on first down. He picks up 6 yards.
I'm a little bit concerned with this Seattle pass offense at this point on the field. Very few shots to the end zone. A little rollout that time, got him a nice gain, but no points.
Phillip Rivers now 17 of 33, 277 yards, a touchdown, and the interception as it deflected off of Antonio Gates.
Keep your eye on number 89, John Carlson.
Had a touchdown earlier. And Hasselbeck is forced to use a timeout. That's the second timeout called by Seattle.
Looking for Carlson. Carlson's on the bench.
Only 1 timeout remaining.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Budweiser. Grab some buds and be a part of the Budweiser National Happy Hour on September 29th. New Degree Men Adventure. And by the all-new CRZ Sport Hybrid, only from Honda.
Wednesday on Survivor, Coach Jimmy Johnson is calling on reinforcements to help his older tribe win. And they defeat the Young Guns. Catch a new Survivor. That's Wednesday only. CBS. One timeout remaining for Seattle. They've got a 17-12 lead, 11:41 to go here in the fourth. A 2nd and 4. Shotgun formation. Hasselbeck fakes the handoff. Hasselbeck throwing. Tight space, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit the tight end, John Carlson, for the touchdown.
Well-designed play. It's a little bootleg by Hasselbeck. Carlson, 89, on the crossing route. Burnett right with him, falls, but from the other side, Eric Weddle is there as the Chargers playing combination defense that time. Man underneath, zone on top.
Pivotal play here for the Seahawks. A touchdown, it's a 2-score differential. A field goal, it's a 1-score game. And this is a 3rd and 4 now for Seattle. Hasselbeck sets, timing play up in the air and incomplete. He was trying to hook up with Dion Butler, matched up with the veteran Quentin Jammer, and Seattle has to settle for a field goal try.
Yeah, it makes you wonder about Mike Williams. He was not in the game. He'd be the guy you want to throw the alley-oop to at 6'5". Butler just goes 5'11", and was no contest that time as Hasselbeck saw the tight coverage by Jammer, just threw it away.
Lindo Mare has converted 23 straight field goal attempts, and this is a 23-yarder for Maury. Went to the Pro Bowl in 1999 as a member of the Dolphins. And he bangs that one through to extend the Seattle lead, 20-12. 11:27 to go. Fourth quarter here in Seattle. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The game between the Chargers and the Seahawks. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. Our score, Seattle 20, San Diego 12. 60 Minutes will be seen immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time.
As long as this game is going, it may be seen at its regular time following the game. This may be a long way from being over.
Boy, 11:27 to play. We've had a lot happen. Most of it took place in the late stages of the second quarter, but then early second half, a long kick return by Washington. San Diego able to come down and get the touchdown from Rivers. Sproles able to stay on his feet and spins his way out across the 35-yard line. Walter Thurman with a hit on special teams. Turnovers, that has been a major theme here today, and San Diego has made a number of mistakes.
Well, you got to give Seattle credit, though. They've been ripping the ball out, making big hits. Great reaction there by Earl Thomas for the fourth one that happened just moments ago. Luckily for San Diego, this turnover there, the only one that's turned into points today, only turned into 3 points.
First down for the Chargers, just short of the 35-yard line. They trail by 8. Plenty of time left, over 11 minutes. Play action. Rivers, sensing the pressure, moves up and throws on the run. Makes the connection to the backup tight end, Randy McMichael. Norv Turner coached him in Miami. He knows all about him. And McMichael is into Seattle territory for a 28-yard gain right down the sideline.
Extending the play was Rivers, finding McMichael as the outlet. McMichael's real value is as a pass protector and a blocker, but that time he showed he can get free.
And Rivers has cracked 300 yards for the 17th time in his career. He's at 305. On first down, it's Tolbert. And Mike Tolbert carries out across the 35-yard line. 2.5, 3-yard gain, depending on the spot. David Hawthorne there for the tackle for Seattle.
You can see a lot of conversation in that Seahawk huddle. A lot of things they've got to go over because of all the weapons that San Diego possesses.
San Diego now 11 straight games with at least 300 yards of offense. Second longest streak in the NFL behind Houston. On a 2nd and 8 for the Chargers. Fake the handoff. Rivers steps up. Soft throw to Tolbert, and Mike Tolbert takes a hit as he crosses the 30-yard line. Walter Thurman got him down low after the 6-yard gain, and it will be 3rd and short coming up for San Diego.
Gates has been on the sidelines the last 2 plays, and you know it's 3rd down, and you know who Rivers' favorite target is. We'll see how Seattle defends it.
Personnel changes for Seattle as well defensively. This is a 3rd and 2 for the Chargers. Shotgun formation, Rivers. Rivers throwing and makes the connection. Legadou Nene has got a first down inside the 25-yard line. That's a 7-yard pickup, and it quiets the crowd.
These San Diego receivers have got such good size, and yet they run very well. Nene at 6'2", with great speed across the middle, runs away from the defense and then splits the tacklers, almost keeps his feet. If he had, he might have scored.
1st and 10 from the 21, under 9 minutes to go now here in Seattle. Rivers, play fake, dump off, it's Tolbert. And Tolbert keeps the legs churning as he drives close to the 10-yard line. He picks up 9 yards on that catch and run to Tupu and Hawthorne combined to bring him down.
And because the Chargers throw the ball down the field, they stretch the field so well, that forces the defense to defend the field and be playing deeper. That's why these little dump-offs are so effective. 9 yards on a little dump-off is perfect.
And Chargers are coming to the line of scrimmage quickly here. 2nd and a long one. Tolbert breaking free. He's got a first down. It'll be 1st and goal coming up from the 6-yard line.
This is what Norv Turner talked to us about yesterday, too, how with the power of Tolbert at 240 pounds on a 5'9" frame, he wears defenses out. And right now that offensive line in control and Tolbert breaking tackles.
First and goal for San Diego. They trail by 8, 7:44 to play. On the handoff, it's Tolbert. Inside, tough running by Tolbert, and he's brought down just outside the 1-yard line.
He gets so low in his ability to take a side on a tackler. He got hit on this play about 2 yards before he went down because he could avoid the head-on collision and fall forward all the way to the 2-yard line.
Don't forget, 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. Second and goal now for the Chargers. 3 tight end formation for San Diego. Rivers fake the handoff, moving pocket. Rivers on the move, looking, floats it out of bounds. It'll be third and goal for the Chargers as Junior Seahawks applied the pressure on Phillip Rivers.
Well, I just don't like that play selection at all. You're pounding Tolbert behind that offensive line. You're getting at least a couple of yards. That's all you need is 2. And you go with a bootleg with just 2 receivers out to that side. Man, give Tolbert the ball and let him roll.
Darren Sproles checks in. This is a third and goal for San Diego. Play clock winding down. And they need a timeout. Rivers recognizing it with 1 second left on the play clock. And they'll use their first timeout of this second half. We'll step aside. 20-12 Seattle.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Prudential, the rock you can rely on to meet today's financial challenges. And by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL.
Seahawks fans trying to do their part. Huge play here on third and goal for San Diego. Sproles in the backfield. Nene, the motion man. Rivers looking to throw it. Rivers out of the pocket. Rivers now doubles back the other way. Rivers throwing, end zone, caught, touchdown, Antonio Gates. Rivers kept it alive.
Went right through the hands of Chris Clemens. A flag is down. This one may come back.
Two flags on the play. One at the 14-yard line, another one thrown at the 17. Seattle indicating it's against San Diego.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
That's Dombrowski, and Rivers had about 10 seconds to throw it. There was a reason why.
Well, here's 62, Dombrowski. That's Ballmer, 95, is getting close to Rivers, and he's just going to tackle him, which I'm sure Rivers won't argue too much with him about that. But watch this play as Clemens should have picked this off. He's a defensive end, showing you why he plays defensive end.
So back it up for San Diego. They still have an opportunity here. It's a third and goal, but the ball is at the 12-yard line. 8-point disparity. 6:44 to go. Shotgun formation. Here comes the rush. Rivers gets rid of it. Touchdown! Rivers to Gates. The Chargers are 2 points away from tying this one up in the fourth.
And Turner's talking about going for 2 at this point. Here's the isolation. It's again single coverage. Gates on Babineau. I just don't understand it. They know on third down, they know in the red zone, they know near the end zone that Rivers is going to be looking up number 85.
Darren Sproles picked up Lawyer Malloy on a blitz to help give Phillip Rivers that little extra second that he needed. Now, 2-point try, trying to tie this one up at 20. Rolling, Rivers, throwing, he's got it! Legadou Nene, and a flag thrown.
I think he went out of the back of the end zone, came back in. This will not count. This will not count. You can see the officials with their hats off. They throw their hat when the player goes out of the playing field across the end zone, as Nane did that time. And then after that, if he's the first to touch the ball coming back in, they throw the yellow flag.
Number 11 stepped out of bounds, came back in, was first to touch the pass. Illegal touching. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat the try.
How many times can Phillips River repeat the try? Wow. Here's Nane in the back of the end zone. Watch as he's going to get tripped up back here, loses his balance, steps out of bounds right there, and then comes back in.
But Rivers will get another opportunity. Seattle stopped San Diego prior to the touchdown, but Rivers made them pay on the next play after the penalty. Similar set of circumstances here. Penalty on the 2-point try. They had converted it. Now Rivers gets another chance. Trying to tie this game up at 20 apiece. Rivers looking, throwing, and it's Nane. We are tied at 20. 2-point try converted by Philip Rivers and the Chargers.
They don't quit. They have so much confidence, and that man has so much confidence. Philip Rivers just continues to fight, continues to deliver, keeps his players alive. It's just a 3-man rush for Seattle, which has been deadly for them on the negative side because they're just not getting pressure on Rivers. He's got time to look over the entire field.
You know, think about the amount of pressure they were getting on Philip Rivers in the first half.
And that was with just 4 men. The defensive lineman got the sacks on Rivers. Now they decided to go with just 3 iron, and they drop an 8, which is smart to do, but you're not getting any pressure. The one time they tried to bring Malloy, Sproles got the good block, so the Chargers' pass protection has been awesome.
20 apiece. 6:39 left in the fourth quarter. Both of these teams 1-1. San Diego had the bounce-back win last week over Jacksonville. Seattle had it in reverse, the impressive win in Week 1 over San Francisco, and then got throttled in Denver last week, 31-14. Nate Kading will kick it off. Leon Washington is the deep man for the Seahawks.
They've tried a couple of short kickoffs, and those haven't been that good. The long kickoff try by Kading was returned for 101 yards. Start the second half.
And Washington will return this one from the 1. Washington slowed down as he crossed the 20 and stays on his feet. Leon Washington is off to the races once again. Does he have the closing speed? Washington is gone. Touchdown, 99 yards, his second of the day. Leon Washington may single-handedly bring the Seahawks a victory. 101 yards earlier for the touchdown. He set a franchise record. This one, 99 yards on a kickoff return for a touchdown, which is second all-time in Seahawks history. Wow. Murray, the extra point. And just like that, the Seahawks lead it 27-20.
He's fast, and yet he's powerful. He broke a tackle on his 101-yard return of Stillman. This time he's going to break the tackle of Jacob Hester. Hester's coming down from the right side of the screen right about here. He's got a good shot on Washington, but can't knock him off his feet. What balance. And there's the kicker, Nate Kading, saying, "Ole!"
Leon Washington is already the career leader for the Seahawks for kickoff returns for a touchdown based on his performance today. Washington came in with 4 touchdowns in his career on kickoff returns, all for the Jets. You can tack on 2 more.
And the San Diego Chargers would be wise if they score again and have to kick off to onside kick.
Yeah.
Because they cannot cover a kick. 3 weeks ago against Kansas City, McCluster goes 94, and today on a punt return, and today this is just unbelievable. Poor coverage and great determination and desire by that man, Leon Washington. Wow.
Leon Washington, the former 4th-round pick out of Florida State. And has that deal ever paid off for the Seattle Seahawks? The Jets deciding to go in a different direction, and Seattle was more than happy to bring on the Pro Bowl return man.
Well, they went on a different direction because Washington was coming off a broken leg. They didn't think he could get healthy enough, and they had their eye on LaDainian Tomlinson.
Darren Sproles on the return. Oh, Sproles! He got leveled at the 20-yard line by Jordan Babineau. It's a night of premieres on CBS, beginning with 60 Minutes, followed by The Amazing Race and Undercover Boss, tonight only CBS. But Philip Rivers has shown that he can move the football against this Seattle defense here in the second half. Rivers now with 339 yards passing, a pair of touchdowns and a pick. San Diego has 400 total yards of offense. We'll see what Norv Turner dials up here. Turner's the head coach, but he still calls the plays for the Chargers. 1st and 10, ball at the 21-yard line. Play fake. Rivers, look at the time again. Safety valve is Tolbert, and not much there for Tolbert as Lofa Tatupu with a hit, 3-yard gain.
Great reaction by Tatupu. He's seen enough of that little dump-off pass to Tolbert. He closed on that quickly.
3-time Pro Bowler Lofa Tatupu. Down to 5:45 remaining. Seattle with a 7-point lead. Leon Washington with a 99-yard kick return to give Seattle the advantage. Rivers throwing rainbow delivery to Antonio Gates. And Gates able to stay on his feet out to midfield. Chargers have a first down with 5:28 left in this game. That's a 26-yard pass play.
Yeah, how does 85 get so wide open? A mix-up in the coverage as he's turned loose on the sidelines. Got behind the linebacker Hawthorne. Chargers out to midfield. They got 2 timeouts to work with. And a quarterback that's getting time to throw, and a defense that's not regarding the best tight end in football.
Gates earlier passed Shannon Sharp for 2nd most touchdowns in a career among tight ends in league history. On first down, Rivers, a rifle. Patrick Creighton, the former Dallas Cowboy. And they'll move the chains again. He's brought down at the 33-yard line. That's an 18-yard hookup, Rivers to Creighton.
And again, it's the Seahawks rushing just 3 men at Philip Rivers. Creighton really having a good day for the San Diego Chargers. Been solid returning punts and has made a couple big plays in the passing game.
Had only 1 catch through the first 2 weeks. He's been more of a factor here today. Rivers now 385 yards through the air. First down for San Diego, trailing by 7. We come up on 4 minutes to play here in Seattle. Play action. Rivers, plenty of time, throwing. This is like practice. Antonio Gates. Rivers making the connection again. Philip Rivers having no problem reading this defense.
Well, what defense? It's a zone, and yet they're not covering the field. I mean, the linebackers have taken the short route because Rivers has been successful throwing the dump-offs to Tolbert. Now Gates gets in behind the linebackers. The secondary, the safeties and the corners are so worried about the deep ball that the intermediate pass is killing the Seahawks right now.
Gus Bradley, the Seattle defensive coordinator, he has seen Philip Rivers shred his defense in this second half. Rivers over 400 yards passing. Play fake, this play is whistled dead. Flag thrown at the 14-yard line along the near side.
Ball start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
How did we get here in the second half? We've had some fireworks, including Phillip Rivers connecting with Antonio Gates for the touchdown. Two-pointer tied it, and then on the kickoff, Leon Washington somehow able to maintain his balance and take it the distance, 99 yards. Washington had a 101-yard kick return for a touchdown earlier. 8 penalties against San Diego. Now a 1st and 15 movement and more flags.
I remember that sign that said, "Welcome to False Start City," the 12th man.
False start. Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
And that one against Brandon Dombrowski. Look at our game summary. San Diego has turned it over 4 times. Seattle with 2. We mentioned Leon Washington. And Phillip Rivers has cracked 400 yards through the air and a pair of touchdowns with a pick. This is now a 1st and 20. Back it up to the 24-yard line. 3:27 to go. Rivers fires and complete to Darren Sproles. Sproles brought down inside the 15. Clock is moving down to 3 minutes and 17 seconds left. Will Herring with the tackle for Seattle.
And that time Seattle came with a 4-man rush, but still that offensive line of the Chargers dominating, giving Rivers time to find all these weapons. As Norv Turner comes halfway out on the field to make sure that Rivers gets the right play. This crowd is so loud, even with the microphone in the helmet, it's tough to hear for Phillip Rivers.
They just got back the 10 yards that they lost on the back-to-back penalties. So now it's a 2nd and 10 for San Diego. Sproles, single setback. 3 receiver set. Rivers under some pressure, throwing, incomplete. Malcolm Floyd tried to curl it outside. Earl Thomas applied the heat on Phillip Rivers on a safety blitz.
Yeah, that's a real good defensive call by Gus Bradley. On the outside here is the rookie from Texas, and he's going to come free right through a hole. Rivers never saw him, but Rivers felt him and had to get rid of it early.
Now it's 3rd down for San Diego. 2:38 left on the clock. Seattle with a 27-20 advantage. 62nd consecutive sellout here at Quest Field. 3rd and 10 for the Chargers. Rush coming. Rivers throwing. Incomplete. Nobody home. In the direction of Antonio Gates. And now it's 4th down. Coming up tonight on CBS. Season premiere, 60 Minutes. The Amazing Race and Undercover Boss. Only CBS.
Chargers have 2 timeouts remaining, Ian. They're going to talk about maybe going for it here on 4th down. Yes, they are. Some people might say, why don't we go for a field goal, get some points. But at this point on the field, Turner feels confident. But the play clock running down, they're not going to get this one off. They may have to burn a timeout here. Rivers has got to look at that play clock.
Play clock down to 2. Down to 1.
Didn't get it off.
Rivers throwing.
Didn't get it off, Ian. No touchdown.
Caught by Creighton, but as you mentioned,
Prior to the snap, delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
now what?
See the play clock on the right side of the screen. Ball still on the ground. Delay a game.
But you said it earlier in the telecast. Phillip Rivers is the kind of quarterback that can absorb the delay of game and still make a play.
Yeah, with the weapons that he has and the time he's getting to throw, you wouldn't count him out, would you?
19-yard line. And Seattle will use a timeout to make sure they've got everything sorted out the way they want defensively. But that's their final timeout of the game. San Diego still has 2 timeouts to work with. Seahawks have a 7-point lead with 2:34 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
This is the effect of this crowd. The 12th man they're so prideful of here in Seattle, even back in the days of the Kingdome. Fall starts, delay a game, 67,000.
Hey, Dan, I know Norv Turner has a lot of confidence in his offense and Phillip Rivers, but what about the other point of view? Kick the field goal. You still have 2 timeouts remaining. You've been able to stop Seattle on offense throughout this second half.
That's an excellent point here, but you talk about confidence. He's seen his quarterback, he's seen Gates, he's seen Nane. They've been making plays. This one obviously is gigantic.
4th and 15 for San Diego. Rivers from the gun. Rush coming. Rivers unloads. End zone. Incomplete. Looking for Patrick Creighton. Roy Lewis there defensively for Seattle. And the Chargers turned it over on downs.
And great defensive call one more time by Gus Bradley and Pete Carroll on the Seahawks sideline. Watch the pressure right up the middle. And that makes this ball come out. Not enough time for Creighton to adjust to it. Malloy right up the middle from the outside. Actually, Rivers had good protection. Could have stepped up, but he felt Malloy coming. Knew he had Creighton man for man. And he's looking for a penalty. He's not going to find it.
So Seattle takes over. First down at the 19-yard line. Injuries to Seattle. Marcus Trufant. Roy Lewis in there, late stages, and makes a play for the Seahawks defensively. And this play never gets going.
Ball start in Seattle.
Illegal snap. Center. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Now the key here for San Diego, 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. So they'll be able, if they can stop Seattle without getting a first down, they'll get the ball back, and they should get pretty good field position.
You know, obviously, the point, if they kick the field goal, they still would have needed a touchdown to win the game. And either way, they're going to have to make a stop defensively. So you can understand Norv Turner's viewpoint on this. It's a 7-point disparity. And off, it's Forsett. And he falls forward after the hit by Castillo. Picks up 4 yards on the play. Steve Gregory also there defensively for San Diego, and a timeout taken with 2:24 to go. And they still have the 2-minute warning. Don't forget, 60 Minutes will be seen immediately following this game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen in its entirety at its regularly scheduled time. Injuries have been a big part of the storyline here today, for both teams, in fact. Sean Merriman out early with a calf injury. Luis Vasquez, excellent offensive lineman for San Diego, starting right guard, out with a knee injury. Mike Williams left with a shoulder injury, came back, but on a couple of key plays for Seattle, we have not seen Williams out there. Forsett left with a leg injury, he's playing, and Trufant has not returned since injuring his ankle. If San Diego stops them, they should get the football back with about 1:50 to play. Hasselbeck, bootleg, and he's in trouble. John Phillips was right there in Hasselbeck's path, and he'll be given credit for the sack, a 6-yard loss.
That's his second of the day. Now Seattle offensively has just, you hate to say, shot themselves in the foot, but the false start on first down by Chris Spencer. Here's Phillips out here, and now this sack, and they're playing right into the hands of the San Diego Chargers.
Well, San Diego's not going to use a timeout. They'll let the clock run down to 2 minutes remaining. Seattle with a 27-20 lead. 2 minutes to play, fourth quarter in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle's got the lead, 27-20. 2-minute warning officially hits here at Quest Field. We'll come back with the finish. 2 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Seattle 27, San Diego 20. Chargers still have 1 timeout left. Handoff to Forsett. And Forsett running around. And Forsett finally goes down.
That was almost a designed run around, kill the clock, take time off the clock, don't go out of bounds to stop the clock. Heads up play by Forsett.
And now San Diego has used its final timeout with 1:50 to play here in the fourth. Coming up tonight on CBS, season premiere, 60 Minutes, The Amazing Race, and Undercover Boss. Only CBS. So John Ryan will punt it for Seattle. We've got 1:50 left on the clock, and the Seahawks clinging to a 7-point lead. Want to welcome those of you who just watched Arizona defeat Oakland. Seattle 27, San Diego 20. Late stages of the fourth quarter, 1:50 to go. Ryan on the punt. Patrick Creighton fields it at the 34. Creighton makes his move upfield across the 45. And he's brought down. Clint Gresham, the snapper, got down the field after the 52-yard punt. In this second half, Leon Washington opened up the second half with a 101-yard kick return for a touchdown. That gave Seattle a 17-0 lead. But fourth quarter, Rivers to Gates for the touchdown. They close, and then Washington gives Seattle the lead, 99 yards on the kick return for the touchdown, and that's where we stand right now. 27-20, Seattle leading San Diego. Chargers have no timeouts left. They've got a 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Phillip Rivers over 400 yards passing here today. Rivers, rush coming, Rivers, and brought down from behind by Red Bryant. So he picks up a couple on first down. Clock is rolling, 1:25 and counting remaining in the fourth.
Good coverage in the secondary. No place for Rivers to go with that one.
Chargers line up on a 2nd and 8. Shotgun. Rivers throws over the middle, complete to Buster Davis into Seattle territory, and a first down for San Diego out near the 35-yard line.
They're just exploiting the middle of the Seahawks zone defense.
Lawyer Malloy was slow to get up, and now he's gotten to his feet for Seattle on that back line. Down to 48 seconds left. Seattle trying to hold on. Rivers. Great throw to Malcolm Floyd. And Floyd is brought down inside the 15-yard line. They're working the middle of the field, and Floyd could not get to the sideline.
Yeah, got to spike this one. Stop the clock, gather, huddle up, get a clear play. Got to be a spike here.
It is for Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. 26 seconds left. Dan, I didn't want to be the guy to tell you this, but Phillip Rivers has thrown for 455 yards. That's the most passing yards in a game in San Diego Chargers history.
I'm happy for him. I'm not rooting for him because I'm a total unbiased professional. But doggone it, he's earned every one of those yards today.
On the outside, you're happy, but I know on the inside, it's hurting you. 27-20, Seattle leading it.
He's going to have all the records.
26
them to him.
Seconds left. Rivers throwing, incomplete, nobody home. And it brings up third down now for San Diego. 21 seconds remaining on the clock. He was not out of the pocket, was he? That's what the officials are talking over right now.
There was no foul for intentional grounding.
And Ron Winter.
They discussed it, though, didn't they? The officials got together, but it's a pressure. Malloy right up the middle again. He's picked up by Sproles. But Rivers expecting, I think it was Creighton on this side of the field to go to the corner. And he did not. He went to the post instead.
Well, this is similar to week one when San Diego had opportunities late against Kansas City. The difference on that Monday night game, they were dealing with a swirling wind and rain.
Okay. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Yeah, Rivers was waiting for the officials to end their discussion about whether that was intentional grounding or not, and the play clock was running the whole time. So that's a poor job of officiating there.
San Diego just absorbed a delay of game as Rivers was watching the conversation between the officials. So it's now 3rd and 15 for the Chargers. 21 seconds left. San Diego down by 7. Sproles in the game. From the gun. Rivers has time. Rivers throwing. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Antonio Gates. And it was Roy Lewis over there to make the play for Seattle. 4th down, San Diego.
Number 34 is Lewis. He's got Gates man-to-man. Gates going all the way to the end zone. It's one of those back shoulder throws. And Gates just slipped and fell down. No interference on Lewis. This is the ball game.
15 seconds remaining. 4th down for the Chargers. Trailing by a touchdown. Fans are on their feet. Shotgun formation. Rivers steps, throws, intercepted. It's over. Earl Thomas with his second pick. The Seattle Seahawks will hold on for the victory. The rookie out of Texas with the interception late. And the defense comes up huge for the Seahawks.
Rivers trying to make something happen in the end zone, trying another one of those crossing routes, this time to Nane. But give Earl Thomas a lot of credit for reading the eyes of the quarterback, breaking on this ball and picking it off and picking up a win. 5
San Diego turnovers today. Second pick of the day for Earl Thomas. 6 seconds remaining.
Had an illegal block on the return by Earl Thomas. That will back it up. But really, it's a kneel down and sayonara.
Not even sure why Thomas was running. Just go down after that pick. Don't want a chance of fumble in that situation. But it all works out for Seattle. The San Diego Chargers will fall to 1-2. It will qualify as another slow start for San Diego. Seattle gets the win 27-20 over the Chargers. Former rivals in the AFC West. And San Diego's mastery over the West Coast teams comes to an end. Seattle wins it 27-20 over San Diego tonight on CBS. 60 Minutes, the amazing race in Undercover Boss. For Dan Fouts and the rest of our CBS crew, this is Ian Eagle. So long from Seattle. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.